What's good, people? We're live. There's another transfer talk show here on 12th Man, Monday at 8 p.m. We've got a great panel. We've got Pete, Billy, and Errol that are going to join us. They're just running a little bit late. I am with Charlie. I am with Wolfie. I am with Deji. And I'm with Dan United, who's back from his hollybobs. And he has got his luggage back, from what my understanding is. I don't even know if Dan wants to sort of explain what happened there, but I'll let him decide that a bit later. Big up to everyone that is here. Make sure you do me a favor, hit like and subscribe, and make sure that you use the code 12man on OK Jersey. The new shirts are all out, so make sure you go and show them some love. OK Jersey link in the description or in the live chat now. So go and show them some love, please, people. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and you're following every single one of these guys. Their handles are on the display now, so you can see them. They all put out great content, so go follow them. And we can't really go any further without mentioning the horrifically sad news of Kevin Keegan today. This one affected me, guys. I can't lie to you. I grew up watching Kevin Keegan, obviously as a manager, not a player, but he's a footballing legend and a legend in general. And I think legend is kind of banded around quite a lot lately. Your mate can be a legend if he comes back from the bar with a packet of salt and vinegar. Do you know what I mean? So I think we actually do need to look at the word legend. This guy was a legend. And for me, was really kind of sad when I heard the news that he was ill. I didn't quite know how bad it was. When you hear the word the big C, you always think the worst, but some people do get through it. And I was hoping and praying with everything I had that Kevin Keegan would be one of those guys. And I really do think we need to have a couple of minutes just on the guy himself, because for me, I think you look at his career, people just remember him for the iconic interview. In my opinion, it's one of the best interviews I've ever seen. We'd love it if we beat them. But also when you look at his career, I've got it in front of me as a player, at Scunthorpe to Liverpool, where he was unbelievable, to Hamburg, where he was outstanding, and then scoring an unbelievable amount of goals for Southampton and Newcastle before then going into management. We all know what happened at Newcastle and how good he did there, trying to take on Sir Alex Ferguson. Unbelievable job of what he did with Fulham, taking them up from literally a couple of divisions within 2 seasons. And then, of course, had a stint at England and then back at Manchester City. Look, a lot of Newcastle fans in the chat will be definitely wanting to say some words, I'm sure. But as a panel, what were our thoughts when we heard this news? Because I imagine you all believe, similar to me, that he's a bit of a legend in the game.
Big part of the Premier League. Big part of the Premier League history. I think when we look at iconic moments in this league, and unfortunately, I feel like the iconic moments nowadays are kind of dusted a little bit by VAR and all of the shenanigans that go on behind the scenes. But this guy was the epitome of it. And do you know something? People forget with the Newcastle team, he took them up and then challenged Manchester United. It wasn't a case of like he overtook a team that were ready to go. He brought in some astute signings. And he was a very, very good man manager. A very good man manager. People forget as well that Man City, he took over them. He was in charge of Fulham before he took over at England. For me, I'm with you, Potts. One of my early memories of the Premier League was that interview. I think probably one of the real early rivalries between managers in the Premier League, I'd say back then as well. He was a great bloke, and I think for Newcastle United fans, for fans of every club he's been associated with, back-to-back Ballon d'Ors, that's not exactly an easy feat. I just, from my part, want to say rest easy, Kev. You know, King Kev for a reason, and will forever be remembered, I think, in the Premier League, and not just in the Premier League. There was football long before that as a legend of the game, both player and manager. So, yeah, rest in peace, big guy.
And it's not just that, Dan. I'd add his playing style. Like his playing style was probably what, like, back everyone wanted, probably apart from you, wanted Newcastle to win that season, just because the way they were playing. The whole, remember the 4-3s with Liverpool's, those iconic matches.
Unreal.
Yeah, when he ended up over the advertising board, wasn't it? After
exactly, and he wore his heart.
That's still the best Premier League game I've ever seen.
Ever.
That is the best Premier League game ever. Liverpool, Newcastle. That's the best I've ever seen. Incredible.
Because his philosophy was simple. We'll just try and score one more goal than you.
I was just about to say that, Wolfie. It was you score 4, we'll score 5.
Exactly.
It was just attack, wasn't it?
Exactly. So that's like, we were talking about this on the stream the other day. Like, when was the last time England had an attacking manager? And he was probably up there as one of the last ones. So, you know, not only was his style be missed, but his iconic rant. And as well, don't forget the penalty one. Was it David Batty when he said he was going to score it and he missed it and things like that? You know, he was always just He's just good, man. He was good. Didn't see his playing days, but like you boys, manager days, you kind of, as a neutral, you would put the match on if Newcastle were playing.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think some of the players that were playing in that Newcastle side back then, I mean, Dan, you said it off air earlier, he prevented Shearer from going to Manchester United because that looked like that was going to happen. Obviously, he was iconic with the 2-4-3s against Liverpool, which are two of the best games I've seen. I think the first one, the Collymore one, for me, that's the best Premier League game I've ever seen. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember watching that live thinking, I love the Premier League. This is unbelievable. I was obviously very young at the time, but that was just insane. And yeah, he's been a part of that, man.
Is that why you became a Newcastle fan then?
That is why I secretly like Newcastle. Kevin Keegan is actually a massive part of why I actually do want Newcastle to do well. It's mad, really, isn't it? But yeah, I always thought Newcastle should have won the league that year, man. 12 points clear. I mean, I speak to Warren Barton quite a bit, and he always says, like, don't talk to me. Like, it's
People
just
forget
crazy.
as well, Potts, that he come back to Newcastle, didn't he? He took him back over for a bit and steadied him for a while, and then obviously Mike Ashley, Newcastle fans will know far more than we do, but false promises, and he left again. But he did go back there and he steadied them for a while when they were. It wasn't too long before they got relegated, was it? Where he went and sort of tried to steady it. So yeah, he's just epitomizes.
He used to. What I loved about Kevin Keegan as a manager, and obviously as a player, I wasn't old enough to watch him. But when I look at it now, I think, like, as a manager, his man management was one of the best I've ever seen. A lot of players. Like, let's just take somebody who wasn't that great at football. Let's just take Danny Guthrie, for example, right? Who was never really going to make it at the kind of top in terms of a Steven Gerrard level of player. But if you look at the player that he was under Kevin Keegan, you started to look at him and think, he doesn't look like a bad player. I thought he was absolutely garbage before Kevin Keegan walked in. And then you start to look at players like that and you think, look, they're never going to make it. But he made them believe they were as good as Steven Gerrard. And I think Keith
Gillespie. Keith Gillespie went as part of the
Yeah, he was a baller, man. So yeah, I think it's only fair. Asprilla, man. Asprilla, Ferdinand Shearer, like that. They had some brilliant players. Rob Lee. It was a fantastic team, that Newcastle side. But I don't know, Errol, Charlie, Deji, quick words before we move.
Yeah, you know, may his soul rest in peace. I think you guys have said it. I think for me, he's a true competitor. When I think of Newcastle, I think Kevin Keegan. When I think Kevin Keegan, I think Newcastle. And maybe, last season I wasn't able to articulate myself properly to Pete, but that was a proper Newcastle team. You know what I mean? A team that was fighting Manchester United, a team that was going to take them toe to toe, a manager that was never say die. And yes, that whole Liverpool game, yes. But I just think that his whole aura, because at that time, Manchester United were untouchable. And what he did is he gave some belief to the Prem that they're human beings and that they could be taken down. I know he didn't quite do it, but it was fun to watch. The whole banter, the whole, rivalry was absolutely epic stuff. So, and the reason why he was able to make average players look good was because he's a true footballer. Football people who understand the game are able to get a tune out of bang average players, and he was able to do just that. You run through a brick wall for him. So look, may his soul rest in peace. I remember him for the fond memories that he gave us all, and the fond memories that we gave of Newcastle. Newcastle have never been the same since, and may his soul rest in peace.
Is that true, Errol? Is Newcastle your first game?
Yeah, it is. Super Sunday.
Yeah, it's our first game of the season at Degaff. So I imagine there will be obviously a little bit of both of the fans coming together to remember him. Obviously, everything have said, I think is absolutely spot on. Yeah. So yeah, may his soul rest in peace. He was clearly a legend, bigger than just the Liverpool Football Club, and it's clear that as respected fans from other teams that support other teams, there was a fondness and a respect for the man that he was and the player that he was. Again, I'm too young to really wax lyrical about his playing capabilities, but by all accounts he was mustard, and he was a proper baller in the middle. Obviously got moved a little bit further forward at his time in Liverpool, and just from my perspective, since I heard the news, all I knew, I just didn't want his stature to be reduced to that one clip and that one moment, and the way that you have spoken about it already shows that he obviously meant a lot more than that. Obviously online everything's very short, and quick and snappy, but he was far more than just that one little rant that he tried to give to say Alex Ferguson that time. But big up him for standing on his laurels, lad, and just sticking it to him. Do you get me? So yeah, we could do with a little bit more of that in football these days. So yeah, may he rest in peace.
For sure. Look, before we get into the transfer talk, because everyone will want to know what's going on there, I'm sure. We just got to mention quickly the Spain-Argentina game. Really briefly, I don't want to go into it long on this, but Charlie put in a good thing on the group chat, actually, about who might win the Ballon d'Or now. And obviously, talking of Kevin Keegan, who did win 2 Ballon d'Ors, who do we think is going to get that now? Because it normally does go to a World Cup winner or a Champions League winner. I mean, I mentioned Fabian Ruiz in the group chat saying that he's won everything this season now, the Champions League, the World Cup and the league. Yamal will probably get it because it's Lamine Yamal. Messi, people will shout forward. Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane. There's so many names now. Dembele.
It's the most open one. It's the most open one because, like, the guys that had a good World Cup, i.e., Rodri, his league season wasn't good. He was in and out of the team. He was injured. He weren't really doing much for City. So, you know, do you just give it to him just because he was unreal in the World Cup? Like, you've got to have done some other stuff throughout the season. Look at someone like Mbappe, no team trophies, but golden boot World Cup, golden boot La Liga, golden boot Champions League. Top scorer in all 3 of them competitions in a single season is an impressive feat. And yes, the trophies do mean something, but it's not a team thing. It's an individual award. It's who puts in the best individual performances across that period of time. Harry Kane, 60-odd goals for club and country or more, 60-odd goals for Bayern this season. But you know, he could be in the mix. Over 70 with England goals as well. He could be in the mix. I look at someone like Michael Elise. Unbelievable season for Bayern Munich. Yes, they didn't win the World Cup, France, but he broke the assist record in his first World Cup. 7 assists, you know, beating Pele's record. Is there a shout for maybe him to be in the conversation? Like, it's really open. Like, Lamine Yamal probably will get it. His season with Barca was pretty good. I think he got 28 GA and 28 La Liga appearances. That's pretty good going for a wide player. But then he was pretty average at the World Cup. Didn't really do anything. So it depends how much weight you put towards the World Cup. That's the key factor. But Potts, Fabian Ruiz, you know, he's had a decent World Cup when he come into the side. He's part of that unreal PSG front line. He's won everything you could possibly win this season, but he's not really a fancy name. So
he's never lost a game at Spain, has he?
No, 50 caps undefeated. It's mental.
It's mad. It's mad. Like, Spain deserved that, by the way. They literally conceded 1 goal. The system was superb. I thought Rodri was unreal, and I think if he plays like that for City, we're all in trouble. I'll be real with you, lads. But
Spain were the plot twist, Potts. They were the actual plot twist, like, because everyone, and me myself included, I fell for the trap of France. So I was banging the drum of France from early in the World Cup, and obviously Argentina was almost a given because of FIFA and Messi and all the rest of it. So that's where I was distracted, and it was only until Spain booked France I realized. I was like, oh, movie time. This is where the plot twist happens, and these are the ones you should have been watching from the start. And obviously,
and do you know what it is as well, Errol? Right? It's a classic example that. Don't just look at football as superstars. Superstars don't make the best teams. You look at this Spain team, right? All right, Lamine Yamal wasn't great, but that's like the one superstar player. Everybody else, like they're obviously top players, but there's no like standout stars. It's not like Mbappe, Dembele, Elise, Doué. It's not like that. They're as a collective unit. The way they play the game is unbelievable. You look at that midfield three: Fabian Ruiz, Rodri, Danny. By the way, Danny Olmo. I thought he was outstanding in the World Cup.
Yeah, I thought he was incredible.
Incredible.
Who's the young centre-back?
Pau Kabasi.
Fantastic.
Is he at Barca?
Yeah, he's Barca. They had, I think they were saying
he got young
there
player
was like,
of the tournament.
There was like 7 or 8 players in that final that had all come through the Barca Academy in their career at some point.
To be fair, the goalkeeper was quality as well. Like, everyone was asking why Raya's not playing. He's the third best.
It's always been Simon.
Apparently everyone's saying Garcia and Raya are better. I thought he was quality.
Do you know what's mad as well, Potts? Like that, like from a defensive standpoint, obviously they conceded 1 goal. I think they were saying that there were
10 shots faced in the whole
10
tournament.
Shots on target they faced in the whole tournament.
You're gonna win when you've got those kind of numbers in your favour. You're gonna win, aren't you? Like, yeah.
Can we just have a word on how bad sportsmen Argentina are?
But do you know what it is though, Potts? Like for me, it's such a shame that they've made that their identity, and they've adopted that style of play and they've done that because they're better than that. They are better than that. Like,
do you think they're scumbags?
Yeah, they are.
Then why were you saying you were going to fill the chat with pictures of Enzo Fernandez last night won the World Cup?
Dan, cook him now.
Why would you say that?
Yeah, the only reason I said that was because Sam was chatting shit about him. So I said, if he wins, I'm going to stick some photos in. That was it. But
Enzo apologist.
They are, you know. The problem is though, they don't need to do that because they're actually decent. They can play good football, you know. And their problem is that they've adopted that whole thing as their identity and what they do. And
I'm glad that Messi was seen for what he was last night as well. Trying to get Cucurella sent off.
Yeah,
I was like, you are an absolute embarrassment. Like, you're a legend of the game. And I thought, you absolute child. You absolute child. I actually sat there and I'm gonna level with you. I watched Messi cry 400 times between the time that the game finished and this morning. I just kept watching it back because he has been forced down our throats as a World Cup tournament this summer so much that you then forget about the decent players that have been out there and done their jobs. We talk about, we've spoken so much about Spain, and I think this is probably the most Spain have been spoke about in the entire tournament because the whole tournament, it was Messi. It was Messi.
Yeah.
It was Messi.
Do you know what it is though as well, Dan? Nobody really spoke about Spain until they beat France. And when they beat France, then people started taking a bit of notice of them. And yeah, I think they were downplayed. I'm sure some of us maybe downplayed them a little bit as well. But
did anyone have Spain to win it? Like, did anyone have Spain to win it?
No, I didn't have Spain to win it. No,
I looked past Spain. I looked past them so quick. But to the point that you said about Argentina won't be able to change their style until Messi retires the jersey. And the reason that is because their style is, we need to save Messi with opportunities or allow him to have the space so he can create opportunities, and we need to be his bodyguards on the pitch while he's doing that. And they will do whatever little tactics they have to do in order to try and enact that plan more often than not. And it's worked for them. They went and won the Copa America, and then you've obviously been previous World Cup winners. So they found something that they thought they worked, but they doubled down on it. Once Messi goes, they might now be able to say, all right, as a team, what else have we got? Because now I
think you're being really.
I don't think they've got anything else.
I think they've got some relative quality. I think they need a lot more. But I don't like Argentina full stop as a country, let alone a football team. So it makes no odds to me how they approach it going forward. But that's just the reality of it, is how I see it.
This isn't going to be the last you see of the nasty side of Argentina, because when they haven't got Messi to fall back on, you're going to see an even nastier side from them,
I agree.
because they're not going to get their own way, and they're not going to win matches, and they're not going to get to latter stages of the tournaments. This will come once he falls apart.
You know what, Pete?
And you're going to see a nastier, horrible, even more horrible than they already are. I can't stand them.
Not being funny, but look at you.
I wanted to say what I wanted to say. They went out. I ended up getting cancelled.
Yeah, I agree, Billy.
But I'm not.
And Paraguay as well in that game against France. Paraguay, when they lost 1-0 to France, they were a disgrace in that game as well. Like, you know, just the way that they play. I understand, like, you know, if you're a worse team, in Paraguay's instance, you've got to try something a little bit different. But you can't adopt that as an identity. You just can't. And I just don't get why they.
The country that gave you Simeone, man. Look at his team at Atletico Madrid. Like, it's got so many resemblances to the international.
His son,
team.
man. His son is absolutely just like Diego.
Oh, he's a whopper. He's an absolute whopper.
Absolutely awful. Go on, Didge. Go on, Didge.
No, I was just going to say that, you know, in terms of Argentina, and that absolutely disgrace of a nation in terms of their football, I can't see any way back for them. They played some of the dustiest football we've ever seen. And the only reason why they got as far as they did is because about 10 decisions over the World Cup went in their favour. Let's be real, they lost, in my opinion, to Egypt, and they lost to Switzerland, do you know what I mean? And they lost to England, you know, because if the referees had a bit of bollocks, then a lot of their players should have been sent off a long time ago. So look, we ain't got to worry about Argentina ever again, because unless they've got a Messi brewing or cooking in the background.
Well, there's not another Messi, mate. There ain't another Messi, let me tell you that.
Wasn't that the best flip you've ever seen on the football pitch when Fernandez got sent off? Man? Like, he did
it was a mad flip.
Flip,
bro.
Man.
It was mental. It's like,
and he had the balls to do that.
10 out of 10.
No.
How did Paredes not get sent off either?
No, he did.
He did.
But when it's over.
He should have been sent off during the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And even that McAllister foul early doors, no booking for it.
Oh,
Mad.
he wound me up all tournament, McAllister. Since he's got a skin,
Yeah,
he
same.
thinks he's a tough
Same.
guy.
Too much of that.
Hey,
Too much of that.
Just
Just
like
chatting
Royal
rubbish
Rumble said,
all game.
the whole Argentina
What I
side,
want to
man.
hear from the panel is: should we be allowing these Argentinian players back in the UK? As for me, if Romero thinks he can land at Gatwick or Heathrow, he's getting a punch up from me because I'll be waiting for him.
Oh, bro,
I want
he's
to know what
leaving-
you're going to do,
he's
Charlie,
leaving your
about
club
that
anyway.
fraud Fernandez, and I want to know, Errol, what are you going to do about that fraud McAllister?
And Billy, what are you doing about your keeper then as well?
My keeper's been quiet in it. He was just crying his eyes out.
And
He's
what about
done
Lisandro
nothing.
Martinez as well?
I know it's rare.
Nah.
It's rare. You know, so you know it's a mad day when fucking everybody.
I need to see. And Errol, Charlie, Billy, I need to hear boos coming from your mouths the next time they step out on the pitch.
There'll be nothing.
Why are you
There'll be
getting
nothing to
political?
Martinez.
Why are you getting geopolitical? I don't pay
Emmy's not done anything wrong.
Yeah, but
What?
he's a knob.
Are you
Eddie.
mad?
He's a knob.
He's not done anything wrong.
Martinez is a wrongin. Don't even
Yeah,
get that
he's a
twisted. He's a wrongin. He's just as
Nah,
bad
man.
as
They're all wrong-uns, man. They're all wrong-uns, let's be real. But
So he'll probably be out for 2 months. He
before we
needs surgery on his finger.
Before we move to
Pete,
transfers, and I'll just say two of the most dislikable players I had growing up that used to cause me nightmares were Roy Keane and Wayne Rooney, and I think they might be my favourite two pundits at the moment. You know? They're absolutely
Wazza was a legend
brilliant.
last night. Wazza was a legend.
wasn't
real
taking
top,
no-
man. Absolute, like, what was the
He
best
wasn't
thing?
pandering?
When it finished, it was crap.
Yeah, loved it.
Like, you're a
respect it.
legend.
We don't have enough of it, lads. Do we? We don't have enough of just honest, real opinions.
love
It's
it.
all fabricated for little clips that are put on the news websites and all the rest of it on socials for their own benefits. But us as fans, we just want to hear real talk. We're real
It's refreshing,
fans.
Pete,
Just
isn't
wanna
it? It's
hear it.
refreshing, man. Like Roy Keane's always done it, to
100%.
be fair. But Rooney, like people will think I love Rooney because he started to stick up for Arsenal. It weren't nothing to do with that. It was last night. I just thought you're absolute ledge. Like you just basically, Michael Richards is trying to do the Macarena. Joe Hart's trying to big it all up, and he's like, I thought it was shit.
You know what? Sky wouldn't be doing anything wrong by getting those three on as a regular on there because they had good chemistry. Those three together, they've got good knowledge.
you know what- yeah, and it is as well. Just quickly, this is a bit boring, but outside, like these like external platforms, like what they're doing on Overlap, like when they had Rest of Football on Netflix, like where guys can actually be themselves and they haven't got the the jurisdiction of restraints of national broadcasters.
Yeah,
you actually see the proper people. Like for me, we should be getting that on the TV that we're paying for. It should be like that. People don't want like proper in-depth shit. Like you can go to different places for that. They just want like a conversation like you have with your mates. Like that's what they want. With obviously the fallback of that they've got all the experience of playing the game, but we don't need all this polished analysis. You don't need it.
Sounds weird when they swear.
I
Though,
don't
doesn't it?
like this show, barring Wolfie.
Yeah.
I was, I was going to say that, Dej. Like this is why people come to 12th Man. They come to 12th Man for exactly that reason.
Oh, Wolfie, have you got that present I got for you?
What?
Don't open it in
my
front of
camera.
everyone.
Oh shit!
Yeah, don't open it in front of everyone.
Open it in front of everyone,
What's
bro.
this?
You can't say that and then you're not come through with
Yeah,
it.
brother, open it in front of everyone, son.
Open
Open it up.
Oh, what is this? I'm lost. What is this?
Oh, he's like, it's open. Oh,
There you go,
Skittle.
mate. For my love, taste the rainbow. If you know, you know.
I had to order all these Skittles, right? Because I needed this today.
What is happening here? Skittles. Where's all my Skittles?
I needed to make up £5 so I could get the order. Today.
Wolfie, there's enough Skittles there to film a fucking mukbang video.
I don't even like it. You know what's
There
really
is,
annoying
man.
about Amazon though? Why do they just knock on the door and run?
Bro, they literally, mate, they can't even get to the door. They're gone.
Bro, it's like, and then sometimes they're shoving shit through your letterbox that
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
nowhere
Don't fit.
near
It
it
doesn't
fitting.
fit,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
it's
hangs
mad.
out,
You know
yeah.
what I don't get is they do a disappearing act quicker than I can in a van. Let me tell you that because I open the door, they're fucked off.
Yeah, they're gone. They're gone.
Within
And I just
seconds.
caught her as she was looking. She goes, yeah, hi. There's something at the door. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's a mad one. Let me do these supers, and it will be a nice segue going into our next topic. Net tweet, big up to you, mate. It says we must secure Kroupy by the 1st of August. Must. It's an Arsenal fan. I think he's linked with Tottenham, if I'm honest. Also says Carboot FC fans piping up after passing the 1.4 billion mark in their spending process. You blue bottlers ain't beating us since 2021. London is forever red. I know why Arsenal are getting annoyed with Chelsea. We'll come on to that next. Eagle-eyed football. Big up to you, Rich. I hope you're well, mate. Says Van Heck was 52 million with 1 year left on his contract. Lacroix with 3 trophies and 3 years left must be sold for 60 million. Glad we're holding out. Sounds like Chelsea are after Maxence Lacroix, which I happen to think will be another very good signing.
Palace for Forest. So Rich, you forgot to add that one.
No, Rich will definitely.
Has D appeared on the show, Wolfie, since that happened?
D has.
Mad. I asked him again today. He's busy.
He's busy again, Potts. Busy again today.
He's busy again. I asked him. He's busy, and he's busy on Thursday at 4 p.m. as well. Something's going on here, Wolfie. I think he's avoiding you, Wolfie. Maybe if I don't invite you on, he might come on if you're not on the show. I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird. Look, I think Lacroix would be a good signing for Chelsea, to be fair. And I do think they need defenders. But the Morgan Rogers thing, we might as well discuss it. Before me and Charlie come in, let's get some neutral opinions on this. Oh, and Billy, obviously, because he felt well was in. What are your thoughts as a neutral panel on this situation? Do you think Arsenal are losing their head, fans going over the top? Do you think it's like way too much money? What's your thoughts on it, people?
I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. I think he's being used out of place. I still think he's a 10. And I think I heard a report Chelsea have said they're going to play him on the left as well. I don't know if that's true, Charlie, but like
depends what system we play. Like if he plays the back 3 and he has the 2 10s behind the 1 striker, he'll play on the left 10 and Palmer will play right.
Yeah, that would make more sense than shoving him out on the left. But like, I know he can play the left. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's had that consistency. And I still think Gibbs White is better than him. He's not worth 100.
Villa have done so well. They've done so well with that money. Like especially for it to not even be a bidding war, it just come out of nowhere. It was like bang, done. It's not like it's been back and forth between Chelsea and Arsenal. We know that Arsenal were talking to him, but I mean, for 117 million, boom, that's big money.
Guaranteed as well. No add-ons.
To be fair, Dan, Chelsea have done well to not make it a bidding war. Because they've just come in and gone, you know what? If that's the fee, is that what you want? Bang, there you go. We'll take the player. And that's the problem. That's not a problem for Chelsea, not a problem for Villa. I think they're probably shaking hands right now, thinking great deal all round. A little bit like myself and Deji with regards to Tonali. Very, very similar situation. Paid the money, got the player. We're both happy. But the ones that aren't happy is the guy above me. I'm surprised that they didn't fight harder for him because he is a player that would have. I know we're talking about sometimes inconsistent, blah blah blah. Morgan Rogers is a fantastic player. He's a fantastic.
Yeah, Arsenal written.
He's got immense quality, and he's a player that you can argue, is he a 10 or is he a left? He can play anywhere across that front line. He can play anywhere across that front line and do a job, and do a good job at that.
Why do you think that we didn't though? Why do you think we, as a panel, why do you think we didn't push for him? Like, I don't know.
Because you don't like paying the big money. Liverpool went out there and got Isak in the summer. They went out and paid the big money and got him. Chelsea have already proven that previously with Fernandes, Caicedo. When they need to pay the big money, they'll pay the big money. Manchester United have done it for years. The big clubs, Man City, LB's not here, but Man City, they've gone and done the same. Elliot Anderson. The big clubs, at times, when you need to, you go and pay the money to get the player that you need to take you to the next level. The problem is for me, and it's just my opinion, Arsenal don't like paying the big money. They were forced into it for Declan Rice. But if you look around at your business, at your club, other than Declan Rice, which even how many years has he been there now, and you're still holding on to paid 105 million for Declan Rice, blah blah blah. Other than that, you don't do it, and you're in the position now where you could reach the pinnacle. You got to the Champions League final, you won the league, you've got an opportunity to go again. But I'm not sure that your owners or your sporting director, Berta, are willing to go that level. Let's see you the rest of the summer. But you had a chance there to make a real statement. Forget everything else. Forget any other bids for Konza and all the rest of it. You had a chance to make a statement there. your statement, regardless who you sign, you'll probably sign Bruno Guimaraes, but he ain't going to be the same statement as Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers would have been your statement.
And do you know what it is as well?
Didn't
Pete?
put the money down, and I think you're going to be made to rue that.
They had, just quickly, Dave, they had the option to match the bid when they knew that the Chelsea bid was 117. There was the option for Arsenal to match the bid.
It was offered to them.
It was offered to them, and they didn't take it.
That's why I don't get. I guess. I'll let you come in now, Dej. But I guess I would have taken him. So this isn't me saying I don't even want him. I think he's shit. I wanted Morgan Rodgers. Everybody on the panel knows that, right? But the play, and Arteta does apparently wanted him. For whatever reason, Berta, Kroenkes and above have gone, I don't think he's that good. I'm going to go and get someone who's better. But who is that then? Like, I want to know who it is. Who do we go and get? And I'm not saying it's not better.
You're going to have to spend that money anyway, Potts. You've got to spend that money regardless.
You've got to spend that money on someone. So,
look, I think Pete and Charlie, you guys are great friends to Dan. And what you guys are doing is laudable, especially on this panel show this evening. But I'm prepared to go through a different start. Let's call it what it is. Arsenal are done. And what I mean by Arsenal are done is that
wow.
Don't get it twisted. Arsenal achieved what they've been wanting to achieve. They won the league. That's it. They're done. They're finished. So they're not. There's no ambition to go again. You know what I mean? They've done what they needed to do, and now they are relaxing because football's not complicated, guys. If you want to stay on top and dominate, you bring players like Morgan Rogers in. It's as simple as. The fact that you let him go to a Chelsea team that ain't in Europe tells me that you guys are bums and that you're not ready to dominate. So we spent a good hour the last time we all came together waffling how Arsenal was gonna, win the league again. And what that was waffle. Because for me, when you aim low, you get low results. And Arsenal letting go.
Chelsea going to win the league because they got Morgan Rogers, so they're going to win the league. And that's what you need to do to win the league.
What you've done is you've opened the door for the likes of Spurs, Liverpool, City, United, Chelsea to really to have a go.
And Potts, do you know what?
Villa.
Open the door to Spurs. My word.
Potts, you know what would annoy me the most? What would annoy me the most is not just not paying the money, but by the fact you made it so public that this was the number one guy. He's coming. Arteta's phoned in. They've done this and they've done that.
Yeah.
Like I've seen my club do it so many times. Make it so clear, number one target, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and you miss out, and you miss out, and you miss out. That for me is the most annoying thing I think from an Arsenal perspective is if you hadn't made it so public that he was the top target, then perhaps it doesn't hurt as bad. But because you've made it, when you do that, you then have to go and close the deal. You have to go and back your chat up. You can't just drop.
I think that's
you do have to back your chat up.
We got a bloody bid to start with. We haven't even bidded to Villa. We didn't bother. We just I think we might want to go for him at one stage. This is what I don't get with it.
I think there was a verbal offer of 80 million at one point.
Yeah, but that's not an offer, is it? Verbal offer.
It's just a conversation.
That's just a conversation about if Villa want to sell him or not. But for me, Berta's got to hold a massive L there, to be fair. Because as much as I can blame Arteta for what happens on the pitch, you can't blame him for saying, I want Morgan Rogers. And then when you don't get it, bloody hell, Arteta. Like, that's what Berta's been bought in for, man. So he's got to get it across the line. And it ain't the only time we've lost on our plan A's. Like, I know Mudryk was an absolutely horrific signing, but we wanted him. We wanted Caicedo. We wanted that. Huh?
But do you need Rodgers though? Honestly speaking.
So I personally think so. Everyone else doesn't. Everybody I speak to, Turkish, Curtis, they didn't want him. They're like, don't want him. I don't. He's not. I want a left winger, and Rodgers ain't a left winger. But I did want him. Yeah, I personally did. But I don't.
Don't you think you lot are moving too early though? Like, I remember this time last year, Arsenal signing Kepa and Norgard and like all the Arsenal fans. Do you remember that? And it's like, where's our actual players? And then you just saw it build up over the transfer window.
Well, we have to now, Wolfie.
It's probably going to be the same thing. Like, Rodgers is a good player, but I disagree with what Pete said about him being a statement signing, man.
It would be a statement signing. But for that
the price tag is a statement. The player
come on. Let us break it down here. Villa had a brilliant season last season, got Champions League football, won the Europa League. Morgan Rogers was a huge part of that. think Billy would even agree with that. He was a huge part of that. Some of the big goals in the big moments, he stepped up and produced moments.
I'm not taking that away from him.
Villa games and
It's not
points that took them to the next level. He went on into the World Cup. Yeah, he didn't play every game, but he came on and made a difference when he came onto the pitch. And he's an England international, so like all of that together, he's much better.
He's not worth 170.
Much better.
He's not worth 170.
Yeah, but you can say that about every signing, Errol. You can say that about every signing in summer. Nobody's worth it. For me, that's an argument across the board.
Yeah,
nobody's worth their value.
No, he's
not. You pay for what you get.
Just real quick, right? That Arsenal, if you're Premier League champions, you've got to do that because Liverpool would have done it. Liverpool would have done it. City would have done it.
Liverpool did do it.
They did do it as well. They did do
multiple times.
That's the point. We do it. City do it. Arsenal have got to do it.
Yeah,
Errol, talk.
Literally, the World Cup finished yesterday. It finished yesterday, man. Like I don't know, man. Like loads of clubs haven't done business.
Go on, Errol. Go on, Errol.
Permission to speak?
Let's
go. Now, all I would say was Morgan Rodgers.
What you saying, Andrew?
No, it is. Morgan Rodgers, to Pete's point, may be a type of player that he thinks is good enough. It might be a level raiser for Arsenal's squad. That might be true, but he is not going to be a level raiser on Arsenal's bottom line when it comes to share sales. I don't think. And again, what Arsenal have done down the years is they have went out of their way. Even if they've not been able to land someone for 80, 90, 100 odd mil, they still landed key, huge players. Aubameyang, Ozil, Sanchez, players that will sell shirts around the world. And they look at that as the type of players in their profile still when they go out and make their signings. So if they are going to assign 100 something odd mil to a player, they want at least some value in the commercial side of things. Now, whether we think that's right, so again, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't care. But from the outside looking in, they've done that and they've got that track record, bro. So why would they not look to do that again if they're going to spend big money like that?
I really think Rodgers could have been that guy for Arsenal.
Maybe if he had a stellar career with them over 3 or 4 years, but they want that instant return to say, if we get another Sanchez on the shirt, back of a shirt, or an Aubameyang, or somebody of that ilk, we know we're selling X amount of shirts year on year. While we
but David Raya wasn't that. Gabriel wasn't that. Saliba wasn't that.
They've got enough of those players.
Mendy wasn't that.
They've got enough of those players now, though.
Docris.
They've got enough of those players now, though. If they're going to go out and buy someone that's going to be the level raiser or the marquee or someone that you say, is the big
who is that guy then, though? Who's that guy?
That's not on me.
Those players that you've mentioned, Errol, came in at a time where they were the standout because they were amazing players, but they were also going into a side that didn't have that many superstars in it anyway.
But this side still doesn't have that many superstars in it.
No, I agree, but there's more than there is now. I think Rodgers could have been that guy for Arsenal that as soon as you think of Arsenal, you think of Rodgers. When you think of Man City, who do you think of? You think of Haaland.
I don't think you'd have thought of that.
All right. Are you going to think of Anderson when you think of Man City?
No, because you've got Haaland there, though.
Doesn't make it a statement, man. This is what I don't get.
Okay. So tell me who's a statement.
Anderson isn't a statement signing for Man City.
Tell me who's a statement left wing signing. Right,
Vinny Jr.
That does all. Why would we have this conversation on Vinny Jr.?
Tinnan Thompson.
Vinny Jr. is not joining Arsenal. Vinny Jr. is not joining. With all due respect to Arsenal, Vinny Jr. is not joining Arsenal. Yes, he gives you. He ticks all those boxes.
Yeah.
But if they're not willing to pay 117 million for Rodgers, they ain't getting Vinny Jr. because Vinny Jr. is going to be worth way more than that. And if they're not willing to pay it for Rodgers, they are not going to pay it for Vinny Jr. They're just
Vinny
not.
Jr. is a statement signing.
Yeah,
Forget what he's
Rodgers is better player than Vinny Jr. By the way,
I agree with you. You can't just.
I agree with you. He is. But it goes back to the point. Arsenal are not going to pay that money for him. If they're not going to pay for Rodgers when they got offered the chance to sign him, they're not going to pay for Vinny Jr. because it's not just about the transfer fee; it's the wages and everything else that goes on to
I know. But if Arsenal, if Berta woke up to his emails tomorrow and was offered Rodgers for 117 mil or Vinny Jr. for 117 mil, he could close the deals and.
But he ain't go for 117 mil.
No, but I'm saying
he's going to be sold for 117.
But it's value for money. There's more chance you could probably squeeze out 117 mil out of Real Madrid than the reality of saying, yes, then Rodgers is actually worth the 117 mil.
Now, I will go a step further. Vinny Jr. at 150 mil is better value than Rodgers at 117.
There we go. That's what I'm hoping happens now. Because that's what I'm hoping happens now.
That's not a wild thing to say.
Sorry, Potts.
So I'm asking you all.
Potts, can you just say? Can you just say exactly what you just said?
What's that? I like
Before
Rodgers. I said I like Rodgers.
No. Back to the Vinny Jr. thing.
I think Junior would be more of a statement signing than Morgan Rodgers, 100%.
Do you think you could get him?
No chance.
If he wants to leave Real Madrid, I think that Arsenal need to be in the mix. I said this earlier on Said's channel and everyone laughs because they all think Arsenal is still a top 4 club. But we've just won the Premier League and the Champions League final. We should be going for anybody that comes on the market now. They might turn around and say no. Vinny Jr. might say, I don't want to come to Arsenal. I'd rather stay at Real Madrid or I want to go to PSG or Bayern Munich. Come. But at least go in for him. Don't go, Vinny Jr. Oh, we're only little Arsenal. We ain't going for him. Like, come on, man. We went and signed Ozil and Sanchez from Real Madrid and Barcelona a few years ago when we were competitive. So I don't know why people think we can't attract those names now. Why do you think they'll look at Arsenal and go, they're shit? I ain't going in.
That's not what I'm saying, Potts. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't think they'll say they're shit, but I don't think you'll see Arsenal as a destination.
I'm not saying that Arsenal wouldn't want to go for those type of players. I'm talking about purely the finances that are involved in getting that player there. And that's the point that I've been making about the Morgan Rodgers situation. I'm not putting Morgan Rodgers against Vinny Jr. because it's a non-contest, right? I'm not saying anything like that. But what I'm saying is you had a chance there to go and get a player that clearly wanted to come to you. And yes, the fee was inflated. But as I said, all the fees have been inflated this summer. But you decided not to because you didn't want to pay that level of money. If you're not willing to pay that level of money for Morgan Rodgers, like you're talking about 150 million for Vinny Jr., he's worth more than that. And then someone put in, I think it was Brad put in the chat, he's on about 500 grand a week. So you put the whole financial package together, you might want that pot, and you're going, yeah, we need to go. But the club, I don't believe Arsenal and I don't believe Berta are even thinking in that stratosphere about going and getting a player.
Do you know what their return
like
would
that
be if they got
level? And that's the problem. That's the problem that you're going to find.
You're thinking one-sided here, Pete, because if they went and got Vinny, those queues outside their club shop are long anyway. Yeah, you now put a Vinny 7 on the back of whatever number
in a week.
Exactly.
This is the thing.
I'm not denying that. I just don't think your owners are willing to put that level of money down.
I hear it.
That's just my opinion.
They got 300k on Kai Havertz a week. You think Vinny ain't worth 200k more than that?
Exactly.
I agree with you. I just don't think that. I don't think they've got it in them to go and do it.
Yeah, but Pete,
I agree.
He's got a year left on his. He's got a year left on his contract, and he's getting about 480 now at the moment per week. He gets about 25 mil a year. So you say they couldn't structure a contract like that again and just reload it to 30 mil a year? Give Real Madrid at least 130, 140 mil. He's got a year left on his. Yeah, but he hasn't at this moment in time. So Real Madrid have got to make that decision. You've either got to tie him down and give him. Let me finish what I'm saying. You've got to tie him down and give him an extra 100 grand a week or whatever to increase to incentivize him to stay, or you could sell the asset now while there's still money in it and he'd still clear over 100 mil, as you've already said. But as Wolfie's saying there, Real Madrid are more likely to get 150 mil, and that's better value for money. If you had the option and the opportunity, we did the same last season. We went and got both. The opportunity there came early for us to just go and land Ekitike, but the money was still assigned for Alexander Isak because there was still 120, 130 mil. He was the player that we wanted. Go and get him. It's all well and good getting the next guy, the Morgan Rodgers, in the conversation as would be Ekitike, but we've still got the money for him. Better value for money. You'd go and do it.
And I'll go back to my point. Can Arsenal do it? Absolutely. I'm not denying that. They've got the money there to put that down. They could probably pay him 550, maybe even 600 grand a week to get him in the door. I'm telling you, I don't believe that your owners and Berta want to do that level of deal. I'm saying that. I'm not saying that you can't do it or you're not capable of getting that player in. I don't believe that they want to do that type of deal. And that's why I don't believe a player of his level will come to Arsenal. Not because you can't, but because they won't want to.
And I agree with you. I don't think the ownership and Berta will do that, right? And I think that we will end up getting a left winger, but it won't be Vinny Jr. or Kvaratskhelia, right? My point is, I think what we're doing is, I don't really want Barcola, but that's another story. There's a lot. I think what we're doing here is we're saying everyone's fucked in this window because Rodgers was the only one we could get, and he's now gone. So what do we just play the season now? I think we've got to be careful. There's other people that might come to not just Arsenal, City, Liverpool, as well, Chelsea still as well. So I agree with you. I wanted Rodgers. I did. But I'm kind of listening to like Turkish and Curtis and James and some of the other people I respect that support my club thinking, okay, maybe it isn't the end of the world then. But I need to see a reaction. I can't go and get this Solis guy and keep Martinelli now. I've got to go and see who is going to be our left winger. I want to go and see if we can get Krupi or Alvarez. I want to go see if we do get Bruno Guimaraes. Because if we don't get them names, I'm going to be with you guys thinking, we just won the league. What the fuck's going on? Like, I don't get this. So I need to see a reaction.
The whole thing's fucked up now, though, Potts, because if 117 million is just getting you a Rodgers in this world,
exactly, yeah,
lots of clubs are going to start getting twitchy about who they sell, how they sell, why they sell, because ultimately, where is the actual value?
And Errol,
and that's not a slight against Rodgers either, by the way. That's just the overinflated nature of the market.
Would you say there's a big gap between him and Eze? I was going to say, between him and Eze, is there a massive gulf in class?
I wouldn't say
no.
So. Wouldn't that just be the same situation? I think it's a part of the thinking. If you brought him in, are you going to end up with another Eze where everyone knows he's probably strongest as a cam, but he's kind of been shoved out on the left because of Odegaard, etc. Are you just going to add the same problem on top? Maybe that's how
he's coming in as a left winger, and there's a lot of talk about that. He didn't want to do that, so he's gone to Chelsea because he's going to play with Palmer in the 10, like in 2 10s in the new system of Alonso. There's a lot of talk about that, but I think as well, and I like Rodgers and this, and look, Hand of Arsenal said today that apparently Arsenal were like, yeah, we're going to go with this 80 million thing. And then Villa went, hang on a minute, I've just seen Anderson go for 116 and Tonali for 100. We ain't selling him for 80. He's going up to 120 now. And that was why there was a lot of rumours about, there's 100, because 130 was the ballpark figure, if you remember, Bill, last week, I think it was. And then obviously it went for 117. Let's be real. Chelsea just went, we're desperate. Let's get them. A bit like Tottenham, they're desperate. Let's get them. They're gonna at the moment they're the 2 desperate clubs, so they're gonna have to go in with this mad money because they're struggling, right? You've come 17th twice, and Chelsea are they're in a mess still. You know, Chelsea even with Rodgers still ain't gonna win nothing yet. They've got to keep going. So like, I think that's where it is personally. That's why I think Arsenal.
Sorry, I think maybe Arsenal need to kind of learn from Chelsea and Spurs then and show a little bit of humility.
I knew that was coming. Look, I appreciate what you're saying. I would like to be that.
Yeah, but you need to be desperate because at the moment,
what you both need to do, though, right? And I appreciate what you're saying, and you can start to like sort of, give that kind of look at what we're doing, look at what you're doing thing. But you guys have had to do that because of how you've left yourselves. Like Charlie's found himself out of Europe, out of 9 clubs, and Tottenham have finished 17th twice. So you've had to then go boom, boom, boom. Now I wanted Rodgers, I did, I really wanted Rodgers, and I don't know what we're doing now because I don't particularly want Barcola. So I don't know what happens now.
Do you know what will happen, no, Potts, as well? On top of that, give it 3 seasons and you'll sign him anyway for 60 mil.
We like Chelsea, but he's got to be rubbish. He's got to be rubbish for us to do that. Like Rodgers got a flop now, otherwise we won't go for him. But I don't know, man. I feel like it is early still, but I need to see what's happening. And look, I kind of get what he's saying in a way because when I look at the scenario very quickly, if I've got my season ticket and I've got an Arsenal shirt, I don't really think my Arsenal shirt is worth 120 quid at the shop. And I don't really think my season ticket's worth $2,000. But I pay it because that's what it is. So the market at the moment, Rodgers is 117.
That's the price.
But he is. So go pay it. Otherwise,
if your Arsenal shirt said Vinny Jr. on the back, would it be worth £120 to you?
Probably be worth 150 then. But for me, when that's go on, Ditch.
But then I guess the question is, and maybe I'm in a good mood today. Is Berta thinking you won the league last season, Is your squad currently good enough to retain the title? Because that's the question. If it is, then you don't need to spend. If it's not, then you need to spend.
Well, I think right now we win the league, but it ain't going to stay like that because all the teams are going to spend. So I think we'll win the league. We've just done it. But if everyone keeps the same squad as they got now, yeah, but they're not going to. Chelsea are going to buy, Liverpool are going to buy, United are going to buy. I don't know who they're going to get.
When you're at the top, you have to strengthen. Like if you don't strengthen when you're on top, then you're done. You're finished. Like
Man City have been there for so long.
You have to keep going year after year after year. You've got to keep refreshing the squad, improving, making improvements, signing better players, adding more options. Like you have to do that. I'm not saying Arsenal won't do that, but there's still 6 weeks of the window left or whatever. But you cannot get left behind. You missed out on Rodgers. I don't know who the alternatives are. You're linked with Bruno G. If you don't put the money on the table for him, then what happens?
We've got to go and get him. I mean, that's if you don't get him as well, something's going wrong.
The one scenario you don't want to end up in as well next on top of that to compound what Charlie's saying is you don't want to end up in a bidding war next. You don't want to get your kecks pulled down in a bidding war by another team that's circling for a play that you actually want, and you don't want to get into.
Yeah, no, of course, man. Of course.
Like that will send your fan base's head spiraling. It's one of them things to not bid for a player, but then to start losing players to other clubs as well.
I'll be real. The other thing quickly is the only team I know what they're going to be like when the ball kicks is Billy's. That's the only team I know what they're going to be like. I don't know what Liverpool are going to be like under Riola. I rated Riola, but I don't know what they're going to be like. I haven't got a real clue what Man United are going to be like with not one game a week. Charlie's got a new manager. Deji's got a new manager. Like, I don't know what Forest are going to be like, but I rate Glasner. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So
even we're going to be playing very different with Tielemans now gone, with Rodgers now gone, the additions that we're making. It's going to be a different type of Villa as well. So
there we go. There's only Arsenal that I know how we're going to be like. That's the only team.
Top four
there's an advantage.
Do you still think top four, Ellie?
Yeah, I do.
Based on what?
Champions League football. Based on the fact we've got Unai Emery.
Cold bars, them, you know. That was one of the coldest responses you've done on this show for a minute. Right. Based on the fact we've got Unai in a bit. Yes, Billy.
I think they'll be in and around Champions League again. Do we not think that?
Yeah, I think so.
Unai doesn't multitask well, so I don't. I think they.
Dej, 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row you've said that.
Deji, is your camera on a fucking fan? You keep moving.
Do you not think then, Dej? You don't think Villa will get Champions League again?
No, I mean, look, let's be real. I mean, I can't believe that Billy's just poo-pooing it like it's not a big deal. To lose Morgan Rodgers is massive. Like, that is literally like losing Kane to Spurs. That's the core of the kind of network. And Tielemans, like, mate, that's the fabric of their squad. So
the fabric of our squad is Unai Emery. As long as he is there, we'll be fine.
Villa is starting again. And the other thing we know about Unai is that he's a Europa League champion. I think there's no one better in world football than Unai when it comes to winning the Europa League. Unfortunately for Billy, he's forgotten that he's not in the Europa League. He's in the Champions League, so you're not doing anything there.
Talking about a man that got Villarreal, a city of less than 10,000 people, to a Champions League semi-final. If he can do that with Villarreal, then God knows what he could do with Villa ultimately.
He ain't doing that with your shocking team, bro. I'm just keeping it real. I mean, Billy, look, your hair.
Dej, bro. Like I said, you said this about us for 3 or 4 years now, and you've got shit on your face every single year.
Mate, I'm Tottenham are back to where they belong. We've had a couple of years.
Deji, I was backing you then. I was just jumping in to fucking help then.
No, you jump out now. Jump out.
Billy must be on some budgie banter if he thinks Villa are going to compete on two fronts. It's just not going to happen.
I think there's got to be fair.
They've done it every year, Dej. They've literally done it every year, and let's not forget a couple of years ago they missed out by goal difference to get Champions League football whilst getting to the quarterfinals. Like, you're
Yeah, but that's because everyone else have been so poor, bro. Let's just be real.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't the case. That wasn't last season. Like the season before that. You ruined it, Dad. You ruined it. You made a start, and you just ruined it. Villa will be back up there again. They've got a great manager.
But Pete, if we're going on your predictions, you sat here 2 weeks ago and said that Bruno wouldn't want to leave Newcastle, only for him to say the very next day that he wanted to go to Arsenal.
Why
No. I did not say he wouldn't want to leave Newcastle, because what I did say on the show is that Bruno wants to leave Newcastle. He told Newcastle he wants to leave. That's exactly what I said on the show.
said he wouldn't do an Isak. That's what you said.
What? Yeah. And
now you threw the hang.
He hasn't done an Isak as of yet. He could well do. I don't believe he would, but I don't know.
I need to speak to you.
But that's not me saying that he wouldn't leave. You're putting words into my mouth that I didn't actually say. Because
I seem to remember you said you won't have.
I actually said on the show, but I said to you, one of the first things I said is that Bruno has asked to leave. He's asked to leave the club. So I already knew that a week before.
I seem to remember. Maybe I'm misquoting you. You said you didn't think Tonali and Bruno would leave in the same window.
I think what I said to you is that Newcastle cannot afford to let Tonali, Gordon, and Bruno leave in the same window, and I still agree. I still agree with that statement.
And Hall.
Okay.
And Hall.
Gordon. I'll stress it again. Gordon, Tonali, and Bruno. I said they cannot afford to let those three players leave in the same window, and I'm still of that agreement. Do I think it will happen? I don't. I think there's a high chance that Bruno leaves, and it goes back to the point that I just said to Potts, or Potts was kind of alluding to. I didn't get a chance to kind of like come in on it. This will tell us everything about Arsenal, because if they are not willing to put the money down for Morgan Rogers, and they're not willing to put the money down for Bruno Guimaraes, I think it tells us more about Arsenal than it does about any of the other clubs in this situation. Bruno Guimaraes is not going or not being demanded for 117 million. Bruno Guimaraes is going or being demanded at far under 100 million, probably around the 80 to 90 million pound mark. For me, as a guy that's watched him for the last 5 years, he is absolutely worth that. 29 or not, he will give you at least 3 brilliant years at Arsenal if he was to sign for, and that 80, 90 million, whatever it might be, will seem like a great piece of business. But again, if you don't put that money on the table and we go back to bids, I was kind of smirking a little bit because it made me laugh. I still think Bruno will probably leave this summer, but you talked about bids. We're still not seeing anything.
Potts, would you pay 100
no bid.
Preparing a bid
about one bid going in, or it was intermediaries that verbally said, "Would you be willing to accept?" That's not a bid. Arsenal haven't contacted Newcastle, but if
Potts,
they do, and they put the money down that Newcastle want, Bruno will leave this summer.
All right, great monologue, bro. But did I not tell you would be in this position? 365. I told you a year ago you would be here today, waffling and monologuing the way you just have been. I told you this when Isaac said, "Let me go," like Moses, "Let my people be free," and all of that. You said no. You wanted to hold him down. You wanted to draw it out, and I told you,
no, I didn't hold him down at all with Bruno.
You did.
My first words that I said 2 weeks ago. My first words that I said 2 weeks ago.
Comprehension, Peter. I said Isaac. I'm talking about last year.
That was a year ago. I don't give a fuck about Isaac right now. There's more important things on my mind than Bruno Guimaraes. You're a year on and you're still talking about Isaac.
Yes,
seriously.
We are here because of, and that's what I tried to tell you. I warned you. I said to you, look, just let him go because you're only going to build a rod for your own back. When all of
what did I say 2 weeks ago? I said this is a very different. Okay, so shut up then. You've been waffling. Just not waffling. You're talking about stuff, Errol. Errol, you're chatting waffle about stuff you weren't even here to hear that conversation 2 weeks ago.
I'm pulling you on something separate. I told you.
You're putting me on something I said a year ago. Things have changed from a year. And this is what I said 2 weeks ago. And Potts, correct me if I'm wrong. I said to you, this is a very different Newcastle United. I've said to you, we will sell are top stars. 2 or 3 years in, they're going to be moved on. We need to, and I've said it on my channel as well. If anyone's watched Loaded, Dan United, I know you've been tuning in, and I respect that you will know that I've been saying that Newcastle United are a different entity now. They will sell their top players. They will. And if anyone's read the UEFA settlement with Villa and Newcastle in that situation, expect more of it. Expect more of these top players. Any player that we sign this summer, if they have a good year or two, they're going to get moved on. Dan, you talked about Lewis Hall. Next summer, absolutely, I'll be part of the conversation. He will move on at some point. It will happen. Newcastle United is a different entity now than it was a year ago, because last year we were not in that conversation. We were not in that opinion or of that mindset that was Newcastle United. Newcastle United is a very different entity now, right? We are not the same team. We're not even in a Champions League conversation anymore. We are not.
No.
We will sell our top players. We will continue to recycle, and we will move on. And that is the reality. As much as it pains me to say, that is the reality. But I said this 2 weeks ago.
Is Rich right? Because that's enough.
But you weren't on it.
Bro,
You weren't on the channel.
Is that right, Pete? Is that right?
Wolfie.
Sympathy for him. I've got no sympathy for him. I'm not gonna get a little violin out. I've just got to tell you, because we tried to tell you last season, the writing was on the wall. As soon as you start pulling stunts like that, when the football pyramid starts knocking for certain players and you don't bend the knee, you're gonna have the backlash further down the line. And now we're at the line. And you're fucked. And you're telling me this is a new Newcastle. You're going in a new direction. Bro, you've done this to yourselves. You've only got yourselves to blame in your inactivity last season. And that's why I'm saying it's relevant. And that's why I didn't know what you said to Wolfie the other day. I wasn't part of that conversation.
Yeah, so that's why I told you.
Conversation. No. I'm not lost to say. We do need to have a conversation about Newcastle's transfer dealings because of what happened from last
And I'm quite happy to speak to anyone else on the panel about Newcastle conversations apart from me.
And on that note, people, thank you.
Love that, man. Love
But
that.
what you're saying, you're a new club. What is this new direction? I think that's the point Errol was getting to.
He's just said, to be fair.
Literally said, Wolfie. You're not listening to anything that I've just said.
Saying, what's the ambition now? Because I've always felt like Newcastle would strive to get Champions League, try and win a trophy, something like that. Are you saying that's
the ambition? The ambition for Newcastle United now is to be in a position to potentially get some form of European football, not Champions League. If we're lucky enough in a season, we'll get Europa League, but Conference League will probably be the area of kind of like that's our direction. This is my opinion. The club will never tell you this, but they're telling us this by the action that we're doing, by who we're selling, and the players that we're bringing in. The players that we're bringing in are of quality, but they're not ready to go quality. They're projects. They're going to take a year or two to develop, and a lot of Newcastle fans are really struggling to get to grips with that. Like, I struggled early on when I saw Tonali leave, and not too much Gordon, but then you're hearing the Bruno news, and he will likely go if Arsenal put the money down. If they show the colour of their money, he will go. It's as simple as that. He will be sold, and this is the reality of Newcastle United. You look at
you've made your peace,
but there's an element of that. Shut up, man. there's an element of that you don't have to read the UEFA settlement. It tells you everything you need to know. We are literally hamstrung for the next 3 years.
Do you think you'll sign any? Do you think you'll sign any ready-made players? So I know obviously the Toure lad's come in, the young lad from Ajax has come in. Like those guys could be good in a few years, as you said. So you think they're going to be replaced by inexperienced youngsters, and they'll have to try and find their way and feel their way into it?
They've already said they'll be signing players. I think before it's the maximum age of like 26. I think it's probably gone down to like 24. That's as high as they're going to sign in terms of age of a player. So they're looking at young players that they can sign for a cheaper price.
That's a really big risk to play.
Well, of course it is. All Newcastle fans are saying the same. It's a massive, massive risk. But what it does say is that we're not going to have players of that level that are going to be fighting for Champions League, that are going to be fighting at their top end. We're going to have to basically outperform ourselves. Eddie Howe's going to have to outperform us. I don't think Eddie Howe will last the season personally, but he's going to have to outperform himself. The players are going to have to outperform themselves. And one of you guys or multiple guys on the panel, including Dej, are going to have to slip up. That's the way we're going to get in. That's the only way. And for me, that is not a realistic plan or a realistic kind of like trajectory that Newcastle United should be going.
Eddie
So
Howe one game a week.
It's not a good situation.
Might be all right though. It might be all right one game a week.
But not when you, but Potts, not when you replace the quality that's gone out with youngsters who aren't ready for that step. Like it's all well and good, like saying that, but when you basically Newcastle's squad is worse right now than the one that finished the season, not because they've signed rubbish players, but because the players that have come in are not of the level of the ones that left right now. So,
and this is no disrespect to those players. Those players that come in, they are of a certain level of quality. They are good. They're good young players. But like Sean Sturr, he's 20. He's not even 20. He's 18 years old. He's had a small minimum amount of first team football at Ajax. And yet he's come to us and he's going straight into the first team. Basmana Touré, really, really good season at Hoffenheim. But he hasn't played at the top level. He's 20 years old. We're now thrusting him in and going, you're replacing Gordon. You know what I mean? Like,
literally, you've taken back Longshaft.
What?
Sean Longshaft. Does he come back to you from Leeds or whatever? Was there a buyback?
Leeds was a permanent.
No, he's gone, mate.
Buyback.
Permanent deal.
Yeah, that was a permanent deal, for sure.
A lot of people I speak to are worried for Newcastle, and not like they'll come 10th or 12th. They're in my relegation fight. I don't think that.
No. Not going to be.
Errol, can I ask what your thoughts are on where you think Liverpool?
Dan, I like. But you do realise that I've got a brandy in my hand, so you know what's capable. You know what I'm capable of.
Yeah,
I'm on my summer. I'm on my summer. Thank you, Dan. He knows the score. Don't go there.
Let me do these supers and then we'll come to my next question. Where are we with these super chats?
We're boys, Dan, man.
Is this true, Billy? He scored 3 goals in 20. Is that Rodgers?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Purple player, man.
Purple patch. Are we going to brush past the fact that Billy said Rodgers is better than Vinny Jr.? I don't think he said that.
I did say that. I did say that.
Oh my God, Jesus! Man.
I stand by that as well.
Yeah.
What the? I mean,
Vinny Jr.'s all hype.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
what does that make Rodgers?
Yeah, I'm not
Is
sure.
that on the world class levels?
You asking me?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Conz is England's best defender. Full stop. So.
No, what I'm saying is you said Conz is world class. Is Vinny? Rodgers being better than Vinny? Is that the same level of statement that we're talking about?
That's up to you guys to make the decision.
That's what I'm asking the panel.
I don't know. I feel like it's a dead. I'd expect it from.
I learned long ago with Billy just to let him say his piece and just massage and just let him.
Would you take Konsa, by the way? Because Arsenal do want him. Would you take him, Konsa?
No. I don't mind him, but he's not better than Saliba or Gabriel, so I'd rather just get him.
I agree with, but to not want him is ludicrous.
I would take him, but I just don't see what the benefit of him he's going to get out of that. Really, he's not going to play.
From Konza's point of view, it's a silly
stupid move for him, in my opinion. Like 60 million, no thanks, man. I don't want that for a backup player. We're not going to get him.
Is he replacing Ben White? Would he replace Ben White?
Well, personally, I don't think we need to do anything in defence now. Personally, I think we've got enough cover for Saliba. Yeah, I think we've got enough cover now. We've got Ben White and Chimba. We've got Nkapie and Calafiori. We've got Gabriel. We've got Mosquera. I don't really think we're like, oh my God, Saliba's out. We now need to go and buy a couple of players personally. But I do think like a young, versatile defender would be okay, or maybe another right back if White goes.
Potts, what do you think of the John Stones on a free?
What's going on here?
I have no idea.
What's going on? John Stones on a free.
Him and Wolfie had too many fucking skills.
What's going on, man?
What's going on? Potts, would you take Stones on a free? I swear I've seen some rumours of Stones.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk on that. A lot of Arsenal fans want him. I wouldn't take him.
I reckon that'd be all right.
Yeah, I saw the stats of 35 games in 4 years, and that put me off. So I'm not really interested in someone who can't make more than 9 appearances in the season.
You might need to make more than that.
I wouldn't think. Yeah, I'm a lot of
Polly Watkins ran rings round him as well.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, I would rather go for like Fresneda at Sporting Lisbon, a young right back who's quite good overlapping, and then you have potentially White or Timber playing a centre back backup if Mosquera was to get in it, because Mosquera is going to start. So it'll be Mosquera and Gabriel and Calafiori or Gincapié. So we've got enough. I think we've got enough, to be fair. Big up to Lee for the raid as well. Lee Gunner legend, mate. Thank you so much for that, bruv. Make sure you do hit like and subscribe, people, and you go and support Lee Gunner as well. I don't know what's happened with Wolfie and Dan, but they're back now, so that's all good. No,
Check your what's up.
all right. Okay, something's happened. Okay, I'll check that in a minute. Let me just do these supers, and I will do that. The last one's Deji. How reliable is the reports of Neto to Spurs, Charlie?
Oh, fucking hell.
I've no idea. Who's it? How like Himothy reports.
I did hear this though. Apparently today
they've made a verbal diarrhea offer to Chelsea. So
I mean, look, there's so many people pretending to be ITKs. So I don't know.
There's nothing on the WhatsApp.
No, it must be a private message.
Yeah.
I'm just in it. I'm just in it. That's fucking class.
Are we sharing, boys? We just keep it.
I won't put it on screen. I won't put it on screen, but I won't put it on screen. I'll try and concentrate now. Go on, Charlie. What were we saying?
I just said there's a load of fake ITKs. I don't know if that's true or not. But
I think
just on Neto real quick, mate. Don't 100% rule out you boys going for him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that down Said's show. Oh, but Arsenal going to go in for him now because they want it. I don't think we want Pedro.
I don't think it's a certainty.
I actually liked him when you signed him. I wanted to sign him. I think he's proven at Chelsea he's not as good as what people thought he was. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he would be the guy. I'll be honest. I think Barcola is the one. It's either going to be Arsenal or Liverpool. I don't know about your thoughts, Errol, on this, but I think it's going to be one of us that get Barcola if he does go, because it looks like they're not going for Diamande now. They're going for someone else. PSG. I can't think of the hell it is now. Peter
again, Akliouche and someone else.
Is it Akliouche? But for me, I don't know, Errol. Do you want Barcola, Errol, or is it just me who don't really think he's all that? I think he's quite wasteful, personally.
Seen enough of him. I know he's in a highly effective PSG team, but outside I don't watch the league enough. You know what I mean? To say what he's really capable of. He looked all right for France. Again, I'm one of them. It's hard. As soon as you start saying silly money next to these players, I just look at them, just thinking, unless you're the top 2, top 3, top 4 of your position in the world, I'm not really wanting my club to pay that. But then on the other half of me says it's not my money. So if he's available and we think he can add and improve what we've got, I think a lot of the argument from some Liverpool fans is if we think Rio Ngamoa is going to be the next future player that can be a left winger that's going to be frightening in the Premier League, why would we block any sort of pathway for him in the next 2 years by getting in a player that's going to be there for the next 5 or 6? So, yeah, I'm not really that asked about Barcola either way. I'm not going to get my hopes up, but if we get him, fair play.
I personally think I would rather have Morgan Rogers than Barcola. That's where I'm at. There's a lot of Arsenal fans the other way around. They want Barcola over Rogers because he's an out and out left winger. I like Yildiz. I do think Yildiz is a good option. I think he'll be cheaper than both of them as well. I know people
talk
all
over 100 mil though, Potts. All of it's 100 mil plus.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
maybe
the reality of the situation. Whatever names you're looking at, the quality that you boys are going to need to go for, that's all 100 mil plus. If it's Diamande, if it's Barcola, if it's Yildiz, that's all 100 mil plus. So, you missed out on Rodgers, fair enough, but you're still going to have to spend that money regardless. So, it's now about picking who. That's what I've always said. It's about picking which players you think are worth overspending on, because everybody's overspending this summer on their top targets.
Is Barcola better than Rodgers, in your opinion?
I don't think so, personally.
No. You don't know. You don't know because
I don't know. No, I don't know.
You never know what player you're getting next. You know what I'm saying? So, see how the transfer window works
what about
out.
Rashford, Potts?
Whoa. Tranquilo.
I'd take
I don't want anyone. I don't want someone like that. I want Rashford's an okay player, but I don't want him to be our big marquee signing personally. I think if I'm honest, we're trying to get the people we're trying to get, I'll be happy with. I'll be happy with Julian Alvarez. Don't think it'll happen, but I'll be happy with him. Krupi, I'd be happy with him. Bruno Guimaraes, I'll be over the moon with him. So the window could still be saved. But it's not that I think we make out like we haven't got Rodgers and that's it. Arsenal need to pack up and go because Rodgers is a good player, but come on. I know Billy thinks he's better than Vinny Jr. He's not, by the way, but he's like a good player, Rodgers, and I wanted him. But I don't think we now need to pack up and go. And
Billy's going to be running that one for a long time.
Apparently, Bournemouth have told Krupi's family. This was just as I was coming on tonight. Apparently, they've told his family that no amount of money is going to get him sold this summer. That's what's
I'm
just
hearing
been
that
reported.
Same as that Rayan and Alex Scott as well.
But that wasn't to Arsenal. That was like to anyone interested.
They'll get them to sign new deals with a release clause in it. That's what happened with Semenyo. They'll do the same with Alex Scott. They'll do the same with that Rayan kid, and they'll probably do the same with Krupi.
Someone just said in the chat what source. It's Mark Douglas, the iPaper. Put that out to piece.
Interesting. What's Charlie? What? Obviously, you've got Rodgers now. You're looking at Maxence Lacroix. I actually think you've probably got the better manager out of everyone. I like Iriola. Maresca, I'm still a bit questionable about, but Xabi Alonso, I think, has proven them to do the most out of the new managers that have come in. Right? Are you like a lot of people I speak to, Arsenal fans? They don't want to say it, but they're looking at Chelsea seriously in their window, thinking if Lacroix and Rodgers are coming in, if they get another couple like that, and Chelsea could have a good season, mate. One game a week.
Well, let's steady on a little bit here. No, look, the Rodgers thing was great for us. Didn't expect it. We had to do it because, as you said earlier, we are desperate. When you've got no European football and the club's on its arse, you have to spend big money, and so we've done that. Now, obviously, the pressure's on him to come in and deliver. I think it's a good signing. It's not my money. I couldn't give a shit how much money we spent on him. Does he make the team better? Yes. Pay the money, get him in. It's as simple as that for me. When I've had to watch Garnacho and Gittins for a year on that left-hand side, travelling up and down the country.
I've been there, Charlie. I've been there.
Pay whatever it takes for me not to have to watch that ever again. So that's dealt with now. We don't have to see that again. The centre-back's the most important one. Now, I know people looked at Lacroix at the World Cup and he wasn't great against England and he wasn't particularly good when he come on against Spain. But, for me, he's a proven Premier League player, can play in a 2, can play in a 3, gives us much needed height at the back, which we've lacked massively.
Aggressive as well, Charlie.
Aggressive as well, yeah. And I look at the centre-backs within the Premier League that we could put that are realistic for us to sign. And for me, we're not going to get a better one than him from within the Premier League. And you look at maybe a £60 million deal for him, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a lot for a centre-back in terms of what centre-backs generally go for. But with the way that the market is, the fact that he's got 3 years left on his deal, if we were to close it out for 60, I think that's a very, very good signing. But we still need more to do. We've got the Fernandes situation. Is he staying? Is he going? If he's going, then we're going to be sitting on a lot of money. But the replacements are finite in an inflated market where the demand is far greater than the supply of top quality players that are available. So Charlie, that situation needs to be dealt with.
If Fernandes only likely to go to Real Madrid, would that be the most plausible?
Yeah, I know they put their statement out and stuff, but like for me, I've still not written that off of that possibility.
Because I reckon, based on that, you've got more chance of keeping hold of them. I think we've got more chance of selling Alexis to Real than you.
Quite possibly, mate. Summer. I mean, look, I'm happy to keep him. I want to keep my best players at the club. If he goes, we get them, and someone pays the money. Then fine, okay, no problem. We try and bring someone else in, but it's a situation that's got to be dealt with real soon, because what we don't want to happen is get to the last couple of weeks of the window, suddenly he goes, we've got all this money, but then all the options that we could have got to potentially replace him, they've moved on and been sold elsewhere. So Chelsea have got to get an answer one way or another about whether he's staying or where he's going. If he stays, he'll probably sign a new deal. And we move on and we move forward. But again, it would beg the question of, if he did stay, where does he play? Because Morgan Rogers and Cole Palmer are going to play in them 10s. Esteval could be an option in that 10. Yes, he could play as a rotation in that 10. But then the obvious position for him would be alongside Caicedo in the pivot. Is that his best? I don't know. But in terms of other business, for me, I would ideally like 2 centre-backs. And we've got to sell so many players. It's not just the incomings. We've got about 10, 15 players that need to leave the football club in the next 6 weeks. Loads of them. So that for me is that for me is just as important. So
is there a bit of pressure though, Charlie? Like, I don't know about you, boy. I think there's serious.
Garnacho,
Tell us who needs to
Delap,
stay. It's quicker.
Jorgensen, the Sassy, Badia Shield. For me, Tosin needs to go.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. The crap.
I've already said Delap. Who else? I'm trying to think of somewhere. There's so many. Look, Jackson may well leave. I'm happy to keep Jackson for
shitty Spanish guy that you were trying to big up a few months ago. What's his name?
Who? Oh no, Mark Guiu will go. I never bigged him up. Mark Guiu will leave. We're looking at what's going to happen to Dario Asugu.
Bonanete guy, whatever his name is.
Well, bro, he was only there for 6 months. He was terminated in January. That loan.
Right.
and then he went
what
to
about Achimpong? Achimpong go?
I would like to keep him, but if Lacroix comes in, which it looks like it will happen, then there's no minutes for him. So
I'd take him. I'd take him.
Yeah, bro, he's a good player. He's a good player, but unfortunately, the position that we're in, as much as I'd like to give him a chance, we're not in a position right now, having finished 10th last season, no European football, needing to deliver big time this season. We're not in a position to be blooding youngsters, unfortunately. So we have to weigh it up and think, right.
But Charlie, doesn't that just completely piss all over what your plan has been for the last 3 years? Like, what the fuck have Chelsea been doing? Like, what have Chelsea doing? And this, look, again, money. This isn't me, what I said off air bullying you. I'm not. But like, what have they actually done? Like, what have Chelsea done? Like, they've bought all of these youngsters. Like, they've had this plan. They've bought waifs and strays, i.e., Garnacho, Gittins, and now you're in a situation where, we can wax lyrical that you've signed Rodgers, and it is a good signing. But I think Xabi Alonso, for everything everybody's saying that this guy's the man, he's going to come in and do this, that, and the other. He has got an overinflated squad that is going to absolutely weigh you down. And like in an ideal world, mate. Sorry, quickly. In an ideal world, I've been where you are. We struggled to sell 5 players. You're not going to sell 10 players. You're not. You may loan a few out. You have got so much work to do.
We've got a lot of work to do to sell.
And also you've still sorry, mate. You've still got key positions that you have to fill.
100%, yeah. The work's not done. The Rodgers thing's great and it's exciting and it was a big surprise and we're pleased with it, but we can't then just rest on our laurels. We've got to keep pushing.
Do you think that'll be the distraction? The Rodgers.
I don't know. I think we're a bit past that now. I think people, because this has been nonsense for 4 years now. Like, people can see through all that. Like, I don't think it's like a distraction or anything like that. But we've got to push on. The Lacroix needs to be done, and then we need to work on getting players out the club. As many out the club on a permanent basis as possible. Some of them will be loans. If you can get loan with an obligation, then fine. But that's the most important thing. That we need. The guys have got to be moved out. So yeah, mate, it's gonna be busy. But in terms of expectations for the season, we have to finish in the Champions League places, bare minimum.
Can I just say as well? Sorry, little Dan, Wolves F1. No one on this panel has ever discouraged the fact that they're very, very good at selling. We've always said they're very good at selling. But the fact of the matter is, this summer is a bit different to the previous summers. The fact that they need to get rid of so many, and the fact that clubs now know that they need to get rid of so many, I think it makes it a bit more. I think it makes it a lot more difficult to where you've been. And Charlie, you won't mind me saying, your selling has been incredible the last 3 or 4 seasons. It has, but this season it feels different. It does feel different. It feels like you're not able to get them out the door as quick as you have been.
I think the reason it feels a bit different is because, unfortunately, a lot of the players are just crap. So there's a much less of a market for them. Whereas, generally speaking, a lot of the players that we've sold, there's obviously been a market for them. There's not really a clear market for a lot of the guys that we're looking to get rid of. And so that's part of the reason why you've probably seen a Santos being sold instead of a Lavia, for example, because Lavia's not completed 90 minutes in 3 seasons for us. Correct. And there's not really a market for
They laughed at us. They laughed at us.
Nah, bro, the game's the game. He rejected you, but obviously perhaps it's not worked out as well for us. But look, that's part of the reason why you're seeing the likes of a Santos leaving, which maybe wouldn't have been expected that early in the window, simply because we haven't got the market to get rid of these players. Chalobah's meant to be going to Como. There's a gap in evaluation there. That's gone a bit quiet on that over the last 3-4 days. We've got so many players to get rid of. So whilst
the Garnacho one, I'll never understand why you signed him, Charlie. I'll never understand what the logic was there.
Mate, no, but do you know what it is, right? Very rarely.
Try to flip him.
Very rarely do you get a fan base so united one way against signing a player. Sometimes it might be a small split. This was unanimous. Nobody wanted him. Nobody thought it was a good deal in general. We had one director that kept pushing for it. And it went exactly as we expected it to go. A disaster. And now, we got our tail.
I just asked Charlie.
Yeah.
Me and Wolfie were just wondering when the next Blue Cone marches.
Oh, mate, I don't organise them, but they'll be taking place next season. Mate, what couple signings don't
well, your French friends will be there as well.
Strasbourg, yeah.
Yeah, we might have to fly them in.
Charlie, are you in your banter era now? Is it safe to say that we're entering the blue coat banter?
Oh, I wouldn't say entering, Errol. We are deeply in banter era.
I mean, look, it's hard to argue against that because we've finished in the Champions League positions once in the last 4 years, so it's not looking particularly good for us. So, bro, the pressure's on this season. The pressure's on. We can talk about Xabi Alonso. We can talk about Morgan Rogers. None of that matters.
Where's the pressure on if you've been crap for the last 4 years?
Because, mate, unlike your club, we don't belong with being crap. There are standards and expectations that we should be well above where we are. So,
but you're not.
No, we're not right now because we've been run like a disgrace and we've signed crap players. The culture's rotten at the club. And so those things...
Take me back 12 months ago. Take me back 12 months ago. We talked about Pete 12 months ago. Can we remember what Charlie was like 12 months ago?
The circumstances changed. With new evidence, new opinions come. There was some new evidence found in the case, and my opinion then changed. New evidence was found.
Charlie, is there pressure on Xabi Alonso now?
100%, mate. 100% there's pressure on him.
They're literally giving him the keys to the kingdom. Yeah. They're saying, you sign the players that you want, you get rid of the players that you want. Like, this is your team. Build it. Like, he has to make it a success. It has to be a successful season. So with what you're doing so far, what you predicted? I'm asking for an early prediction here.
I mean, I'll give you an early prediction. Champions League places. That's my that's not even like the expectation. That is you must. That's the demand. That's the demand.
At the expense of who, Charlie?
Oh, it's a great.
I'll be honest. Probably Bill's boys. I have to be honest, because I don't think we'll finish.
Come on for your seat, Bill.
Okay, can we just?
We'll see.
Can we just dissect what you've said there, Charlie. You said the pressure is on Alonso, correct? So I'm not misquoting you. You also said the expectations there. I gave you a get out. Said you've been crap for 4 years. You said no, we win stuff.
We have been crap for 4 years.
So, if your expectations, which are low compared to your usual deluded ones, are basically top 4. If Alonso doesn't achieve top 4 in this year coming, will you be asking for his head come the end of the season?
No, I won't be.
Well, hold on. How can you say there's expectations? The pressure is on Alonso,
I'll tell you why
and now you're
be.
saying he doesn't meet those high expectations, and you won't be calling for his head.
It depends on the circumstances of.
That is the circumstances. You didn't get top 4.
No, because there's no you're not applying any context to it. Like, what would be the reasoning behind it? Now, for me, Chelsea can't afford to keep chopping and changing managers. Like, we're at a point now with Xabi Alonso where not so anything.
There's no expectation on him.
There is not anything.
There's no pressure.
But there is pressure on him. But we're also in a position where we can't be.
What's the pressure? Sorry, explain to me. What's the pressure?
Getting the club back to where it should be.
But if he doesn't achieve that, is he going to get sacked?
At some point, he will if he doesn't achieve that.
No. In this instance of next season, he doesn't achieve these expectations you've just set out. You're saying he wouldn't be sacked, or you wouldn't want to be sacked. So explain to me how that's pressure. Basically, that's like someone saying to me at work, you know what, you got your targets, but if you don't hit them at the end of the year, we ain't going to fire you. Do you think I'm going to bother my targets?
You don't anyway.
For me, the pressure is on for sure. But Chelsea, barring an absolute disaster, we cannot be having another conversation about a new manager. So within reason, obviously bottom half or outside of Europe is a different conversation. But within reason, he's got to be here in 12 months' time because we desperately need stability. And this is the first time under this ownership that we've actually appointed a top quality manager, someone with a proven record and someone of a certain caliber. So the one time they've done that, you now have to stick by it, back him, give him what he needs, and allow him to do his job. And so that's why, for me, I don't want to be replacing the manager again in 12 months' time. If he does terribly, then there's a conversation to be had. But that terribly would have to be finishing entirely outside of Europe, no trophies, and then there'd have to be the context. There'd have to be the context of that scenario as well.
Here's the context. You said if he gets backed, let's assume he does get backed because you've started to back him and you finish in the Conference League position. Let's just say you spend another 100, 200 million on this squad. You're playing one game a week and he finishes 7th or 8th, gets you European football, but it's conference. Is that good enough?
No, it's not good enough.
So would you still keep him? There's your context. Don't ask me for more context.
I would still keep him because we need continuity. You know, we can't just change the manager every
continuity though.
No, it's not though, because we need to, at some point, right, you've got to stick with someone through thick and thin. Like, you can't every time something goes wrong, bin a manager off, bring a new one in, you've got to stick with someone at some point.
Arsenal are a great example of that.
You're better off supporting a new football team than Charlie, because all I've known coming up was fucking Chelsea. Like,
you
don't get called Bonnie Blue Co for no reason, my friend. You run through managers, bro. You went through the managers.
Errol, they were still getting success in between that.
I know they were still getting success. I've been asking them for years now. Like, at what point do you just say this is the one? Through thick and thin, like Charlie just said,
this is it now.
We have to just hold firm, and we have to see out the other side, a la Arsenal, and end up with our version of Arteta.
I don't mind him saying that, but he can't then say there is pressure, there is expectation, and then the other, his other cheek on his ass and say that no, it doesn't matter. We would still have to stick with him. There is no expectation. There is no pressure.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. There is a pressure and expectation. But all I'm saying is we're in a position now where we have to stick by a manager. That doesn't mean there's no pressure and there's no expectations. That just means that if things go wrong, we've got to stick through it. You've beaten off a number of clubs to get a top lane like Xabi Alonso. You now need to stick with him for a period of 2 or 3 years, get some stability, and stick by him and allow him to do his thing.
Would it make more sense? I don't think that's wrong, even, to be fair. But would it make more sense to be like, at least in the first season, the expectation is to stabilise then? If you're already thinking that he needs at least 3 years, pressure should then rightfully be applied year 2, year 3,
exactly.
as opposed to year one. Whichever way the wind blows, we're going to be sticking with you. But you've got to stabilise us to a point that puts us back within the chasing order, or whatever that might look like. From year 2, what we would then consider to be pressure could be reapplied to you and as a fan situation.
I think there's more pressure that Charlie's put on his own team than what I think probably is the case with
I agree.
Chelsea behind the scenes. So you said 4th place Champions League, which is where you kind of set your target. I don't even think Blue Coat probably put that target on them. I would imagine they've gone, right, you go sign the players that you want, but Europa League's the minimum that we ask of you this season.
Max.
And then it's a case of if you get that or get Champions League, that's great, but then you got to then be expected to go again, build those players, move it on again. I agree with Charlie, right? Charlie is absolutely right. And I agree with Errol, to be fair, because Chelsea have always been known as flipping their managers every 2 years. Like, as soon as there's a little dip, they get them gone, they get the next big manager in.
Think of the managers they've sacked as well, Pete. Think of the managers they've sacked in the past.
And that, true, for poor performance. But there's only so long Chelsea can do that, because Chelsea are not fighting for the title. They're just not. And they could afford to do that back then when they were fighting for the title on a regular basis. They can't afford to do it now. The continuity is good. And let's be honest, and Errol's kind of alluded to the point, Chelsea have churned through a hell of a lot of managers over the years, more so than probably anyone else. There's only so many managers left in that rung. Sorry, Wolfie, apart from you. There's only so many managers in that rung that you at that ilk and that level that you can actually attain, unless you're going around the circle again. I agree. I actually think Chelsea are going to do all right next year.
So do I.
They have to.
They
do have to, but they've had to in previous seasons and failed. Like they
Yeah,
actually,
if-
like,
if you
I'm
know
still
what
gonna
hyping
put the
Alonso
same
up in
bounty on
I
their
actually
heads
think they'll
that
be
I,
all right, to be fair.
yeah,
I
do.
think they'll get 2 or 3 more players in, and I think that they'll be defensive players. And I think that if you look at their 11, which I know you need more than 11, but when you've got 1 game a week and a little bit of a squad depth, which Chelsea will have, I don't rate their goalkeeper. I don't care what Don tells me. But actually, when you look at their defence, if they bring that in, they've still got Reece James. I think they'll probably get a Cucurella replacement. I don't think it'll be better, but it'll be a replacement. And if Enzo stays, which I think he will, because I don't think Real Madrid will sign him, they've got Enzo and Caicedo. Plus, they've then got Rodgers and Palmer ahead and João Pedro. I think that's a decent setup with Xabi Alonso 1 game a week. So I expect them to come 3rd or 4th, I'll be honest, Chelsea. And if they don't, I think that's a failure, if I'm honest. 1 game a week. Like Man United, they come 3rd 1 game a week. I expect Chelsea to be in for that as well.
And that's the key. We as the external fans can expect that. I think Charlie, is someone who's a Chelsea fan, has to expect that. Even if that's not the case, though, that's still going to be all right, and we've still got to be patient enough to do the 2 or 3 years. We have not seen Chelsea fans been able to wrap their heads around that, and that's part of the suffering. We, as external fans, can turn around and say, "Nah, you've got 1 game a week, get top 3, get top 4. That should be easy way Manchester United did it." But the reality is, if shit doesn't go that way, you've got to be all right coming out. You understand? Taking a little bit of banter on the chin from everybody else mocking you, but then actually hold it down and saying, where else have we seen signs of progression that will compound if we keep this manager? Because if we uproot him now, we go back and reset all over again.
Errol, you're bang on form tonight, because you know as well, they'll be talking about day 364 in the Big Brother house and all that bollocks, after they've taken a slap in to whoever. So, this is the Chelsea fan base for you. They're so thick.
Look, let me close on this. Errol and Dan, you have made some signings, but what are you expecting?
Dan signed a top winger. He signed a top winger under the radar.
Well, mate, he was too busy being fucking chased by your dirty old man, wasn't he? And he just come running into Manchester United's arms. Yeah, do you know, Potts? We've done okay so far, United. I think we've done fine. I think we're going about our business the correct way. I'm sick of seeing Mark Neville. I call him Mark Neville because he's a complete bellend. Talking about we should be in for Vinicius Jr. and we should be in for all these big players. This is the same fucking clown who 6 months ago was saying United are skint. What are we gonna do? What a fucking moron! Like United are doing the business they need to do. By the way, great. United are doing what they need to do, and at the moment, I think it's just a case of we've still got 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks of the transfer window left?
Yeah, about that.
United still need 2 or 3 signings to come in. I'm straight up chilling at the moment with it. I genuinely am. At the moment, I'm trusting what I'm seeing. This was never going to be a season because, unfortunately, the way the market is, we were never going to sign Anderson. We flirted about it. We were never going to sign Fernandes for 85 million. But you know what? We went out and got Santos and Tielemans for 85 million. So I'm happy. I'm fine. And look, if we get
Santos, then.
Sorry?
You good with Santos?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, absolutely. Providing he's not the starting 6. Providing it's not him to start and it's all on him. They still need that.
What is your starting midfield, Dan? That's what I want to know.
Oh God! Now you're going to do me, aren't you? At the moment, with the players we've got, it's Tielemans and Mainu with Bruno ahead. That's what it has to be at the moment. With Santos coming in certain games and getting his experience.
My other question, it's not me trying to trip you up because I don't think that's a horrendous midfield. What would improve that with a 6? Who would you like to see? A Wharton or someone like that? Or
well, the problem is, and like we've been linked to Kone and I'm okay with Kone, but at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of people. I like Kone, but I'm also seeing a lot of people talking about, oh, we should go and get Jed Spence because he had 2 decent games for England in the World Cup. Like, let's make sure that the players we're bringing in are ones that we actually want and ones that are going to add to us. Kone's 50 million. I think that's an absolute steal. I think he'd be solid. I think
he's in the Bundesliga, isn't he?
No, Roma.
Oh, is it Roma now?
Yeah. He came from Roma. He went from the Bundesliga to Roma.
Yeah. I'm happy. At the end of the day, we've still got players to come back as well. I think Manchester United need to be secure in what they're doing. For too long, we have gone out there and done. We'd have been in with that conversation with Anderson 5-6 years ago. We'd have spent that money. We'd have gone and spent that money on Rodgers. I think the way they're doing it is absolutely fine. Absolutely.
Do you think Carrick's the man?
Sorry? Do
you think Carrick's the man?
For now, yeah, I do. For now, because we're not because we're not title contenders, Wolfie, and any United fan who thinks that we're anywhere near it, they need to look at themselves. We're still in the middle of rebuilding this squad. For now, for settling and for what we need from Carrick, I think it's fine. When a good, solid manager comes available and we can go and do that, then absolutely fine. You know, I had United fans telling me that Tuchel was the answer and that we were idiots for not trying to get him out of that England contract. The right manager has to come at the right time and has to be the right fit for the squad, for the club, for the players that are there. So at the moment, I'm chilling. I'm fine. We'll just have to wait and see.
Dad, I've got to say, obviously I wasn't here last week because I was away, but when I saw that Tielemans deal come through, and Billy, you might not like this because obviously I know how much you love Tielemans. I was like, wow, that's an incredible deal.
Yeah.
For the money that you got him for the player. And I couldn't believe the reaction from Man United fans being fuming about getting Tielemans.
But this goes back to Pete. This goes back to
it. Don't matter.
They wanted too many.
It goes back to it, and again, you know, I'm not going to say his name again, but these people have such a big following that they influence people the wrong way. You know, you don't build. This isn't the Galacticos era. Manchester United are still healing. We have put fucking plasters over so many scars. It's not about us going out there and thinking we can sign the Tchouaméni. I wanted Tchouaméni. You know that. Everyone knows that. But I think we had to be secure in the way that we're doing our transfer business. When Liverpool won the Premier League and when they challenged City season after season, bar the goalkeeper and bar Van Dijk, they weren't spending 80, 90 million on the midfield. They were bringing in the right midfielders to help build, to help shape, and to help run in that midfield. Kone is a player that will come and do that.
We've gone through an era. Just really quickly, we've gone through an era in football, probably in the last 5 to 10 years, maybe the last 5 years, I'll say, where someone gets to 29 years old and it's almost like they're being discarded. They're nowhere near good enough. Whereas years ago, when a lot of us were kind of watching football at a young grade, 29 was when they were at the peak of their powers, when they're producing the best level of football. And some people said, "Oh, Saïd doesn't equal Man United." I'll be honest, I've not seen any of Saïd's context. I've been on holiday, so I'm just talking on X, on socials, just in general, the reaction from Man United fans with regards to it. I'm not talking about any particular content creator. It just didn't feel like, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, fantastic deal, brilliant plays. He's a tempo setter on a football match. Like on a football pitch, that is what Man United needs.
We're in FIFA settings now.
Even if it's for 3 years.
Mate, we're in FIFA settings with fans nowadays. Fans think it's FIFA and Football Manager. You've got to build.
Do you know what part of the reaction might be, though? I think potentially because maybe a lot of United fans have got themselves or convinced themselves that a big midfield signing was coming, when that didn't come or hasn't come yet, and the first two midfield signings have been Santos and Tielemans, understandably, those people that have raised their expectations so high are then going to be disappointed when they see that, when the reality is actually, if you hadn't put your expectations so unrealistically high, you would have a totally different reaction to the signings that have been made. Now, would any Man United fans have said that Tielemans and Santos would be their first two midfield signings this summer? No, probably not. But I think that there's always a middle ground with these things. It's not like, oh my God, it's terrible. Oh my God, it's like the best thing ever. Like there can be an in-between. And I think,
Charlie, do you know what the difference is?
Football in general, mate, there's too much extreme.
The difference is with Manchester United, the last 2 seasons is, for so long, we have been a plan A and nothing else. We have that plan A, we chase it all through the summer, and then we evidently end up paying more, and then we get laughed at for it. United this summer have obviously worked in the background. They've obviously known these players are available. Santos has been scouted for 3 years. Charlie, you can attest to that. United was scouting him when you were looking at him.
You tried to get him from us last summer.
Exactly. With Tielemans is a player that for 35 million, Billy will completely agree with this. You do not turn your nose up at a 35 million pound bid for.
And as soon as he starts playing, the appreciation will come with that.
Of course it will.
Definitely.
Because that's a standout signing, but because it's coming from Villa instead of Real Madrid, it doesn't feel like a standout signing.
They'll love him by November.
Signing.
They'll love him by November, won't they?
Without a shadow of a doubt.
He's a quality player.
I hate to say it, but pound for pound, he will be the best signing this summer. Like, you're going to go very far, to find a deal that good.
even at 29, if he hadn't got a release clause, Villa would be asking for significantly higher money.
Yeah,
They would have asked for double that. It would have been
55.
double. They would have asked 70, probably double that.
Absolutely.
Easy. Yeah.
In this market, with
I
players
can't believe
going
it.
through.
When that come with a release clause thing, I'm
Betting
like,
to
what are
Nolly.
Villa doing, man? What are Villa
But to be
doing?
fair though to Villa, right? They signed him on. They did sign him on a free, so all that money is profit, and he's probably Bill. Is he one of your highest earners?
Yeah, he would have been absolutely coming on a free. You get that little bit more in your wages anyway, don't you? I mean,
but this is the thing as well. Sorry, Billy, quick one.
Yeah.
This is a quick one. He's not broke the bank with the wages either. He's coming on 150k. Like United aren't doing these 300, 500 ridiculous. Sorry, Billy.
No, I think it's a good deal all round, to be honest with you, because I think as good and as important he was for Villa, and he will leave a huge hole for us. You know, you look at it, 35 million of pure profit for us, came in on a free. He signed a new contract. If he hadn't have signed that new contract with that release clause in, we probably wouldn't be in the Champions League. We probably wouldn't have won the Europa League. He's come in, he's done a job, been fantastic for us. He goes with every blessing that I could possibly. I'll never say a bad word about him.
And you got Joao Gomez in now as well. I think he's a top player, by the way.
But he's not Tielemans.
Absolutely.
Not Tielemans, but he's
he's not a Tielemans, but he's a different sort of player. He's a different sort of player. This is going to be a new, more athletic, younger Aston Villa that we're going to see this season. It's a new way. It's the new way that we're going down.
You won't replace him, and you got fuck all money for him. He's bigger loss for you than losing Morgan Rogers.
I do agree with that. But I don't think you know, like I've said, the most important key in the Aston Villa cog is Unai Emery.
Bro, you can't send Unai Emery out there on his own, man. There's still got to be 11 people on the pitch.
You've got to change the way. Like when I saw the Tielemans deal, I was like,
big up, Errol.
Take care, bro.
He was such a trend setter in terms of tempo of a football match. He was so important to you when he wasn't there. It was so obvious that you weren't the same team. And I was thinking, they're not going to be the same next year. But then you get like Gomez in, you've been linked with Palhinha as well.
Manzambi.
Don't.
Is he still in your head, by the way?
No, he's not in my head anymore. Bill, I like you, man. Why are you doing this to me?
It was a tap-in. It was a tap-in. I had to.
Man. Like,
it was a tap-in. It was a tap-in.
I've just had a nice holiday in Greece, like tan, like feel good, refreshed for the summer ahead. And now you're just stressing me out.
It was a tap-in, mate. I do apologise.
But Manzambi, again, you're building a different team. You're going to have to play in a different way. And you've said it. You're going to have to play in a different way. But if Unai Emery, he's more than capable of doing this, can get you playing in a different way, Villa will just churn on and continue to do what they're doing before. I like what they've done this summer.
The major thing for us this summer was to bring that average age down. The amount of times last season we had, this is Villa's oldest ever starting 11. We had it about 5 or 6 times last season. It was that average age was far too high. And as good as
Rogers, that old git, yeah.
No, but we've done well getting big wages off with Luka Dean. Yeah. Looks like Estepinian's going to come in, which I'm very happy with. I thought he was brilliant when he was at Brighton. 27, 28. Luka Dean's 33.
That's going to bring that age down.
It's 6 years.
A 33-year's gone and a 28-year-old's come in. So
I'm just saying, man. What is going to bring it down to? What is your average age?
I think he did. I think he did all right at AC Milan as well. I could be wrong, but I think Estepinian did all right at AC.
And he knows Emery. Emery wants him. So you're bringing in someone that already knows who Unai Emery is, how he works. I think Estepinian would be a great signing for us. We've done well to bring the wages down, the average age down, and I'm really excited to see this new Villa that we're going to see.
Who's Rogers' replacement then, Bill? Because you're obviously going to spend that money, not all on one player, but who do you reckon?
So you've got Manzambi, that's that ball carrier, but we want a fast, pacey winger as well. So I've heard Somerville's been linked, and
you can have
Somerville's been linked and Mbaye at PSG.
What about Rashford, MBE?
He's not. He's
I reckon he's staying at Man U. I reckon he's staying. Carrick is the only guy, and this is a big reason why I think Carrick's. Obviously, they've kept Carrick like at the club. Not just, obviously he did well last season, but I think Carrick is the only manager that could actually get Rashford around the table, back his head back at Man United, and playing.
I think the atmosphere is better for Rashford as well, Pete. And also, I will say credit to Villa and credit to Barca because he's played under two managers who don't take any shit. And I think he's probably had it ingrained in him the last 18 months that you work hard and you crack on.
Does he start?
Tuchel as well.
I don't think he starts straight away, Bill. Charlie. I don't think he does, and I think he'll be told that, and I think quite rightly so. But he's come off the back of a decent season. I mean, he won the Liga. He was decent in the Champions League.
He's a dangerous player to bring off the bench as well.
He is, and I think you got to remember Rashford plays across the front three. That's gold dust to Man United because we've got Xerxes as our backup striker at the moment.
He's got to go.
He is like I could do a better job up top. Who signed him?
No, I said no. Because Charlie said Xerxes got to go, but I've said who's going to sign him?
Oh fuck!
Italy. There's clubs in Italy that are apparently interested in.
You watch this. Newcastle are going to fucking sign him.
I'm telling you now. Well, I won't say what I'd do to you, mate, if you did it for me. But you can
imagine. Whatever you were planning on doing, you'd do it anyway, regardless of that.
He is the worst footballer I've seen play.
He's so bad, man. He's so bad. Do you need another left winger, though, Dad, as well, on top of Rodri or Rashford? No.
Do you need a centre back? By the way, would you sell Leacher, the butcher?
There's talks because he's only got 1 year left in his contract, and he's injured again. He'll want a big contract. I don't think he covered himself in much glory. I think he acted like a complete clown.
You can't give him
I think he's got somewhere like Atletico Madrid written all over him.
That'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Him or Romero.
And we don't need. And do you know something? Last season, Aiden Heaven come in and was fantastic in that left-sided centre-back role. And I think this is a massive season for him.
Just on the centre-backs, I don't want to drag this on for hours, but when you look at United centre-backs, right, you've got Harry Maguire, Martinez, Aiden Heaven, and Yoro going into it. And De Ligt, who's injured and back's fucked. So what I'm saying is, right, if you're looking as a United fan at that pool of centre backs going into a Champions League season, 4 competitions, is that good enough? Do you think?
Yeah, again, Charlie. I think you've got players like Aiden Heaven that he has got such an opportunity this season. I really do. I rate that lad so much. I think he's absolute class, and I think for the money we got him as well, it's ridiculous. Like even if we sold him tomorrow, we'd be making 20-30 million on him. He is going to have a massive future. He's well grounded. I watched him play Liverpool last season, and he played like he played in the last 30 games against Liverpool. It didn't faze him. I think this kid is absolutely extraordinary.
He played well against us on Boxing Day.
Sorry?
Good. Yeah. He played really well against us on Boxing Day.
Yeah, he's quality. He's absolutely quality.
Is he better than Euro? Is he better than Lenny Euro?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I've stood by that for months.
Euro up. Beat Real Madrid to him.
Euro come through as a huge talent, but that injury that he came, when he came to you and he had that bad injury, I think after like 1 or 2 friendlies.
It was the first season.
Do you know who injured him?
That's I think
Aiden Heaven. Aiden Heaven injured him.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, Aiden Heaven.
Oh my god,
that's hilarious. I'll injure you so I can get my first team football. Let me do these supers before I come to a close. I've got a question for Wolfie. Netweed is on the absolute trolling here. It says Bruno just wasting away with hapless Hal. He's also mentioned, Billy, that Rodgers has got less goals than Yildiz and Krupi. And he's also
that's the same amount of goals as Yildiz, by the way.
Oh, sorry, same amount as goals.
Speak nicely about my record signing.
We won the crowd and look at these pretenders scrambling. Then he's also come for Dan, saying Dan's delusional.
Bro's spending money to send insults. Fair.
He is. He's really good. Then he's come for Billy, saying Emery's.
Oh, he's a fiver for Bill. He's a fiver for you.
I'm honoured.
Weakening his gems, selling his gems to all our rivals. War a League trophy. What a waster. Sorry, Billy.
Netweed.
You'd have 2 if it wasn't for Emery.
You carry on, mate, and I'll tell your mum to switch the Wi-Fi off. Honestly, stop it.
Guys. Credit will run out soon.
All that selling, still a £270 million loss. Oh dear, that's absolutely horrendous, isn't it? And then this one is
money, so I don't care.
This one's Wolfie. Question for Wolfie: why aren't you Marinakis out? You didn't win the Europa last season.
Good
It
question.
wasn't his fault.
Can I answer that for you,
Yeah,
Wolfie?
please do, mate.
Go on.
Because we always win.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
What's
go.
happening with you, Wolfie?
Oh,
Oh, don't worry, I've got a little Europa League t-shirt on. I've been plastering in it.
Yeah, but you don't have that word on it, do you?
I don't have the winners on there, no.
What's happening with Forest quickly before we close? What are you up to?
Signed an Austrian geezer on a free transfer.
Lucas
did.
Bergvall. Is he coming to
Bergvall? Maybe Bergvall.
Forest?
Schlager is a quality player, mate.
Pete, you bid for Bergvall as well, didn't you?
Yeah, he ain't coming to us. He ain't
No.
coming.
I don't think he's worth the 50 mil or whatever it is.
They
That's
want 60
tight
for
up.
him.
There's
want
60 now.
Yeah.
It's because they need the money now because they've spunked
Yeah.
it all on those two players.
Now, I'd rather have Curtis Jones, but I think he wants to go to Inter, and he's
I
only going to
don't
cost
blame him.
30 or 40.
Bergvall's a good player and he's young. That's
Yeah, he's
the
20, but,
potential's there.
but can you honestly say you've watched or seen enough of him
No.
to judge an opinion on him? Do you know what I mean? I don't think
No,
he's
not
had
really.
a consistent run in a
No.
season in his
Yeah, but
correct position.
He's
So I
played in
think
a
he's
really
unknown.
bad team, though.
That is
That is
true.
also a
very
really
true.
bad team. Like, and you know, he's had 2 years there, from 18 to 20.
Mm.
At that age, you're going to have some dips in form and etc. etc. But he's played in a horrible team for 2 years. But what I
And
would
in
say
different
to you,
positions, Pete.
Wolfie, is in those bad moments for Spurs, when they're throwing him in, I think he's been one of their best players. And
He's been able to hold his chin up.
as a young
Go on,
player,
Jack Spurs,
a
go
young
on.
player that's not got the experience around him because the rest of them are all injured, your Madisons, etc. He's been the one at times that stepped up to the plate and put in good performances. I think he'd be a brilliant signing for you.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm not.
I don't
Again,
like
I'm
Newcastle.
just saying I'm
It's not the
agnostic. I'm agnostic to him because I don't think he's had a long enough run.
You're what,
I
Sven?
think he's an 8. I don't think he's played in that position under Thomas Frank that much. He's playing him at 10, I think, at some points, even right wing. So I'm agnostic to him. If Glasner thinks he's the right guy for him, then yeah, bring him in. Glasner will.
I'm going to
make
throw
him
something
good.
at you, Wolfie.
Go on.
He's been exposed to more first team football that Elliot Anderson was before he moved to Newcastle. Before he moved from Newcastle, sorry. To
Yeah.
Forest.
It's not as good as
And
him.
look what you did with him. And look what he's been producing at the World Cup. I think I've loved watching
He's not
him
Elliot
at the
Anderson,
World Cup.
bro, is he? Come on, you know.
But he could be.
Different
He
class.
could be. He's got the same potential. He's had more experience of first team football. He's younger than him. He has the potential to be.
Is he that position?
Not the same. Not the same as Anderson. But you don't need the same as Anderson.
So who's going to be the Anderson
Not necessarily.
replacement then? Like, or the guy that comes in to sort of replace kind of what he was doing for you? Would that be
There's
Bergvall?
talks on Christ Unulu, have you say his name?
I swear he's gone.
He's already
somewhere.
gone.
He's
Is he
gone.
gone?
Yeah, he's already. I think he's
Where
gone
did he
to
go?
Fiorentina.
Yeah, was it?
Did he go?
Yeah, it was-
Shit, I
Yeah,
kind
for
of like.
yeah,
for
he's
25
gone. He's
million.
gone.
Oh, that's a bargain, man. That's a
You know how
bargain.
Ulai
Him.
was honestly, I didn't know about him. One of the lads that I know,
Bro, he's
Newcastle
quality.
fan, was watching him, and I think
Yeah,
it was
Fiorentina.
against Germany or someone.
Yeah, Germany.
And I watched him.
Yeah,
He was brilliant. What a player, man!
yeah,
We've also got
Fiorentina
Thuram
for
links.
for 26 million euros to Fiorentina. It's like
When did that
21 million.
happen?
21 million.
Last week.
Yeah.
Last week.
Really? Oh. The
Kefren
other one-
Turam would be quality. He'd be a
Thuram
brilliant
is
signing.
fucking quality, man.
That'd be
I
a
would
quality
love him.
signing.
Yeah. So he's been linked. There's a couple of like, the ones there still. It's like Bergvall, Curtis Jones, still the same names floating around. I think Glasner really wants Bergvall. I think that's his number one choice. I think he wouldn't mind Curtis Jones, but he wants to go to Inter. Those will be the ones. But then we're looking
What
at
else do you
centre-back.
need though? You need more than just a.
We need a centre back for a 3-back for the
They need
Glasner
a
formation.
centre forward as well.
I think Jesus is going to do really well this season in Glasner's system.
So you're gonna have Jesus as well.
Callum Wendo's back as well from his loan, so he might be staying. I would like Vissa, and I know Pete would do a deal with me on Vissa.
Weren't you in for Vista
Where,
beforehand anyway?
where do we sign, brother? Where
I'm
do
telling
we
you, I
sign?
think
Hey,
Vissa
I
is
thought it
being
was the
forgotten.
Bradley talking, but you just
be honest,
said
I
that.
would
Just so I'm not
take
hearing
Vissa.
it.
Vista weren't even that bad at the World Cup.
Yeah,
Get him gone,
apart
man.
from
Get
the
him
sitter
gone.
he missed against
apart from the
Denmark.
sitter-
Johnny, hold on. Wolfie, talk to me. Come on.
I'll do a deal with you. 30, 31.
How
He's
much
in.
was he? Well,
He's
was he
in.
50?
I hope our CEO is watching this show right now. Get this deal done.
Pete's like, Daz, Chris, get the stream going. We're making money, baby.
Breaking news. We're back, baby. We're back.
I think Bissell will cook still, man. I think you've kind of made your mind up too early on him. I really do. So. He's better than that other dude you got. That German dude. Forgot his name. The porn star.
What's his name?
Well, we've been told that as soon as our starting striker next season, so make of that what you will about Nick Baltimore. But we've been told he's as soon as starting up top.
Yeah, and we're linked with Diamande at the back as well. So there's a few names that it starts to pick up over the next 2 weeks.
Football Manager legend.
From Sporting.
Yeah.
Top player.
Yeah.
Sporting, there's no one. Sporting
on him though.
Really good players.
Loads of hype with him, and then it's no one's really heard much about him, like in terms of links for years. Wasn't he well close to Palace? I swear he was very close to joining Palace 1 year.
He's United a couple of years ago. We looked at him.
They put such a high price on him that no one's wanting to get close to it. They were putting him like 60, 70 million.
50 mil, 60 million euros. Yeah.
They were putting him at crazy money, 70 million, 60 million. No one was willing to pay that, but obviously maybe his contracts come down, price come down.
He had an absolute clanger against us. Like, he was so bad, but I like him. But the whole back foot, I really like their left back, by the way. That Araújo, oh my god, he looks quality. And then
I'd like him. I'd take him.
Right back.
Chelsea, he'd be excellent.
Yeah, he'd be good.
United were signing him. United were signing him according to fucking Indicaila news. I wish someone would ban that.
Portuguese players, like, do you remember all the hype about the keeper Costa? And like
Diego Costa, he's Porto,
every window, and
he ain't that good, man. He ain't that good.
There was remember years ago, is it Akin Fayev, the Russian one? Everyone said he was mint.
You didn't realise that Indicaila used to be a KFC worker in Leicester, where I live.
The worst thing that happened was the Ornstein shout-out.
That's a true story. It's a true story. Yeah. I swear, every time I hear Indicaila or whatever his name is being linked with someone related to anybody, the next day I'll take a trip and I'll drive past KFC and he's there working. He's there working every time. Every time.
You know, so all
people believe that nonsense like it's real news.
No, the worst thing.
That's David Ornstein's fault.
Yeah, it's Ornstein.
Yeah,
why did he do it?
They've made him seem like a viable source, and he's not.
I mean, if you chat enough shit, you're bound to get something right one time, and that was the one time.
Today, United are signing Alex Scott for 65 million apparently now. So that's what he said. So mint.
We better fire the stream up then, Dan.
Get it cranked.
Who's that? Who's signing Alex Scott?
United for 65 million apparently.
According to
KFC, mate. Yeah.
According to KFC.
The Colonel.
That's what I'm referring to, man.
According to the Colonel.
I kid you not, Christmas 2025, we had a little treat, KFC, and he passed me my bargain burger. I kid you not.
Pete, did he pass at you and say, Vinicius Junior's coming in 6 weeks, mate? You heard it here first.
He didn't. He said, I told you about Isaac. I was like, you didn't tell me. Someone else did.
No, he didn't, Pete. No, he didn't. He went, that'll be $14.97, please.
Correct. Bingo.
I love that, man. Listen, we're going to close there, man. It's been 2 hours. It's been a brilliant show, man. It's gone very, very quickly. We're going to send you over to Coppish. Wolfie, what shall we say to Cal? What can we get spam in the chat? Quadruple Cal.
What is it not to say?
Four buses Cal. Something like that.
Oh, what about what was he saying? Invincible quad?
Invincible quad. There we go. Make sure you do that, people. Go and spam Coppish with Invincible Quad Cal, please. That would be good. So we're going to send you over to them. Big up to Charlie, Wolfie, Dan, Billy, and Pete. Make sure you're following okjersey.com, who are tonight's sponsors, and go and show Cal some love, please, on Coppish.
Can someone give a shout out to Aspastid, please? Fucking wankers, you'll never win a league title, just dogs. What a fucking comment.
Wow.
What a comment.
Who's he referring to in that?
I don't know.
Anyone, I think.
Fucking brilliant.
Anyone and everyone.
Dogs,
Mad.
fair.
He might be behind on the watch.
You can't be talking about my stuff.
Crazy.
No, I think
Anyway.
there's a couple of people beefing in the chat. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay.
Go show some love to Cal people and Coppish. Go and do Invincible Quad Cal in the chat, please. And yeah, we'll see you over there. Take it easy. We'll see you next time. We're out. Laters.